What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What is going on, everybody? What is going on? We are here. I'm just waiting for my partner to come in. Once my partner comes in, then we'll be ready to go. That's what we're waiting on. Just wait for my partner to come in here. And once he comes in, all right, so let me try calling him back real quick and get him all ready to go. All right, so here we go. Let me get you set in real quick. Get you all good to go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was like not in the app, and I was like, "What the hell?"
No, it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so all right, so we are in, y'all. We are in. Let us know if everything's going good. Let us know if everything's going good. We are live. The Ravens are going after DeAndre Hopkins. How? And they just traded for him. And the Houston Texans just traded for him. That's weird. What's going on, Connor? What's going on, JD? What's up? Let me know if the audio sounds good. Cardell Crew, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Let me know if y'all hear everything's good.
What's going on? What's going on?
If the audio sounds good. Cardell Crew, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Let me know if y'all hear everything's good.
All right. Can you hear me all right there, pal?
Yeah, everything's good. I was just want to make sure. I was just looking on YouTube, listening to the audio, make sure it's good. There's no echo or anything of that nature.
Perfect.
It's just one thing about YouTube is always has like a real bad delay on the YouTube end, so they might get it later than others, man. What's going on? What's going on? Iverson Vlogs. What's going on? Chris Rodriguez. What's going on? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up?
It's game day. It's not game day. It's draft day. Very
Thank
exciting.
God, man. I'm thank God it's draft day, man. I want to get these questions answered. I really do.
Well, I mean, since we were talking about it earlier today, dude, it's been blowing up. This Yannick Ngagwe trade. Am I saying his name correctly? I can never say it.
I
It's
could never
Yannick.
say his name correctly either, so I'm
I'm gonna
just
say
right with you
Yannick
too.
Ngakwe. Somebody else can do a phonetic pronunciation, perhaps in the comments section. Which you guys are going to have to forgive me. I can only see Darion. I cannot see the comments, so he's going to have to kind of dictate it. I'll kind of try to see if I can see some at the bottom here.
I actually just shared the screen for you. See if you can see the
Oh,
comments.
perfect. Now, see, now here we go. Denver better do good is the worst thing that I've seen.
Denver ain't
But
doing
that's all
good.
good, man. It's all good.
Denver is not doing good. Just to let y'all know, man, just to let y'all know that my family on the other side on Spotlight Sports Network, please go over there and show them some love. I'm gonna put the link in the actual in the chat. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Please go over there and support them as well. They're my family. Malguli and EJ is over there at this moment. So please just go over there and show them love. I'm about to put it in the description right now. Let me just do that while we do this. All right, so here we go. Let me put that in the chat. And here goes their link, if they let me paste it. Yes, there we go. So there it is right there, man. If y'all do want to go over there and show them some love over at the Spotlight Sports Network, please do. Really do appreciate it. And y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel. They are live as well. Malguli and EJ Prom, that's two of my other colleagues that's covering for the Colts and covering for the Bears. So shout out to them as well. So let's get this thing on the road. I'm ready. We all know what the first pick is. We all know what it is. It's Joe Burrow. I really want to get to the Raiders picks. I just want to skip the number 12, man.
Ah, man, I wish that could happen. I appreciate epic booty clappers in general, but also thank you for the phonetic pronunciation. I had it right, Yannick Ngakwe. That's pretty much what I
That's
said.
my nephew acting like his epic booty clappers. He can never change his name, so that's my nephew acting weird.
What did he did that in high school and could never change it.
Yeah, something like that.
Perfect, perfect. I back it. I totally back it. Who's not a fan of an epic booty clapper?
Epic booty clapper. I can't believe like I if it wasn't for this social distancing thing, he would be sitting here with me doing the draft. I'm not gonna even lie to
Yeah, I
you.
mean, listen, it's going to be weird for all of us. I am actually, I mean, at this point, I've been watching so much news and different programming that has pretty much the look of a Zoom. I've been hanging out with friends, as I'm sure everybody else is.
Yeah.
The whole concept of doing that and the whole layout of like the boxes and the screens. I'm so used to it now that I don't know how different or weird the draft is going to look. Actually, to me, I mean, it's obviously going to look different than usually you're used to with the big pomp and craziness. But hopefully, knock on wood, everything goes well for our Raiders. We don't have any technical difficulties. Nobody hacks our shit, and has them picking some shitty offensive tackle in the first round. That's not good.
Right. Hopefully the first round would be good for us in my personal opinion. Let me see if I could I don't know why my view count ain't come up. I probably deleted it by accident, but I ain't worrying about it though. So I usually have my view count in the corner, but it's all good. Though what's going on? Chris Rodriguez, Jay Rader, um, Sports 24/7. Definitely share this live. Share this live. Who moved back to 15? My brother just texted. I think the 49ers moved back to 15. I don't know. So it's looking like what I'm seeing right now, according to Ian Rappaport, that the Redskins won't trade out of the number 2 pick despite receiving inquiries. They told teams that they simply like a player too much. So technically, they are going to go with Chase Young at number 2. I'm
That
drinking.
makes
Well,
sense.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But my brother's saying Denver is 13 now. Where you see that source?
I don't see it right yet on Twitter.
I know that's why I'm asking my brother now because my brother is a 49ers fan and he's saying that they moved 2 spots back. I mean, you went from 13 to 15. What was the point of that? What did I I don't know. I don't know if that was the point of that. Hopefully it's not on Bleacher Report because I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'll do just want to let you know, let y'all know. If y'all do want to go over to my other channel, which is the Spotlight Sports Network, where I have Mal Gooley and EJ Prime, which will have Jake on there. You have Key in the building on there. Please go over there and show them love. I just put the link in the chat. Show them some love. Subscribe to that channel. Um, they the family. They're a part of the family. So definitely go over there and support them as well. Kobe Sports, what's going on? Kobe, go over to Spotlight Sports Network and see what's going on with them. He said ESPN. I was watching the draft order on the bottom of the screen, and the 13 Denver came up. That has to be a glitch.
Well, or they made a trade. I'm looking right now. They're just doing Mel's best available right now on ESPN. Um, I'm still. I mean, unless maybe we can search
I'm gonna say
Twitter.
it like it got to be a certain source because like I follow Ian Rappaport. I follow Ian Rappaport and Ian Rappaport like when it comes to the Twitter, it definitely they'll come straight to my phone as far as the notifications. I didn't hear anything yet about the 49ers moving their channel. I mean moving their 13th pick. I'm definitely
Well, it
looking. I'm
looks like
looking at
right
it
now
now.
it's the 49ers are at 13. That is the ticker right now. So I thought it was the Broncos that moved up.
That's what I thought, bro. I
No,
just
the Broncos are still at 15.
So it says the Ravens, according to multiple sources, we were one of the teams that had made a run for DeAndre Hopkins. The Texans traded him to Arizona. If they draft a receiver tonight, it won't be a huge surprise. We're not worrying about the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what everybody else thinks too. We talked about it earlier, but as of right now, I might be changing my tune about this Yannick Ngakwe scenario here. Um, my biggest thing about it is that they're going to have to trade Gabe Jackson.
Yeah,
Very much like what we were saying, very much like Kelechi Osemele. You're going to have to trade him for peanuts, more or less, to just to drop salary.
right.
I was really looking forward to a healthy Gabe Jackson and that offensive line, which on paper, if they're healthy, could be one of the best, if not the best in the league. You would think if everybody plays up to their to their potential that they can play to. I was really excited about that. I mean, Yannick Ngakwe is definitely a top talent at defensive end, and that would really put our defensive line, as far as the defensive end position and just the whole defensive line, is a real strength of our team. You got Nassib, you have the two rookies from last year, and you had Ngakwe from to that. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I put a video out earlier today. I put a video out earlier today stating that I wouldn't mind having him if he didn't ask for $17.9 million. If he didn't act, I mean, like he did sign the franchise tender. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I just feel like we don't have the money for him. And if we do trade, Gabe Jackson, I'm not really a too big fan of that. Just you trade Gabe Jackson to get a guy, and we still going to be stuck in cap space where we still got to pay for rookies.
Oh, I mean, listen. I totally agree. The money's going to have to be worked around. Again, you're going to have to lose a really, a contributing part of your team to get, this other contributing part of your team. It really is at that point. What's more worth it to you? Not having Ngakwe on the team and rolling with Nassib and Farrell and Max Crosby, and keeping Gabe Jackson, hoping that he can stay healthy and really be a premier offensive guard like he has been, or you get rid of that asset on the offensive line and hope that Good or somebody else can come in and sharp and come in and actually perform at a high level. I'm kind of back and forth with it.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. And I do want to shout out to Fantasy Football Counselor. Shout out to Fantasy Football Counselor. He found my channel. He found me on Instagram and he reached out to me. Thank you so much for the motivation and the determinations for me to keep doing this. Shout out to you, Fantasy Football Counselor. Thank you for coming into the chat. I think they're doing a national anthem now. I'm not too sure. I know Jennifer Hudson is singing on the front. I think she's singing in her studio. I'm not too sure, but there's a few people actually singing. So it's just been a lot of social distancing. So I'm so ready for the draft. I'm so pumped. We finally get to do something actually live for real. It's just awesome, man. The Raiders. What's going to happen at 19? Put in the comments. Let y'all know what's going to happen at 19. Do y'all think we're going to trade back? Do you think we're going to trade our number 12 pick for Yannick? Put y'all opinions in the comments because it's going to be a crazy first round. Crazy first round.
Yeah, I'm shaking. I'm so excited, but I think that I'm going to call it right now. I think that they are going to. I think that we're going to get really excited. There's going to be possibilities with Yannick Ngakoue. There's going to be possibilities of trading back. I'm going to call it right now. I think that they take both the 12th and the 19th pick. That's my hot take right there.
So you think we're not going to have a pick in the first round at all?
No. I think they're going to keep both of those picks. They're not going to trade either one of them.
Yeah, I don't think they'll trade either one either, knowing that the Jaguars already have a higher pick than us. So I think they're trying to get that second pick in the first round so they could try to get as many weapons, knowing that Gardner Minshew don't have any weapons right now for the Jaguars, knowing they just keep trading everybody. They did release Marquise Lee as well. So honestly, I have to say, I mean, you want to go out and get some receivers, knowing that y'all don't have nothing to throw to for Uncle Rico. That's what I call him. I call him Uncle Rico because that's what he looks like, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. So my per se is that Raiders stay put, just stay put and get our two best players on the board at that time. That's just my personal opinion. I think that would be the best bet.
So Bryce Gates says, Yannick, for a future pick. Are you saying that they're asking for a 2021 first rounder on that? I have heard that they're trying to get not just the first rounder this year, but plus some other shenanigans. They're really trying to get a lot for him. But I think right now Mayock is in the driver's seat with that. He can take his time and take it or leave it. I mean, he is young, but he's going to be expensive, like you said.
Yeah, he's going to be expensive as ever, and like I said, $17.9 million, and then he's going to want to like almost 22.5 million for a long term. So me per se, I wouldn't. We don't have the money. We just don't have the money for it. So I mean, don't get me wrong. He's talented. He's still young. But if we had the money and we didn't spend what we spend at free agency, and we would have probably had some money, yes, I'll say take him. But right now, I don't want to risk going over the salary cap just to get a guy, knowing we still have to pay the rookies that come in, even the undrafted free agents that comes in as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. It's just really he's a I don't know. Would you call him a superstar? I mean, he's definitely one of the top defensive ends, maybe the top 10 defensive end in the league, which is great. But $20 million isn't 25 2 years ago or whatever. What did Mac end up getting? I forget. No, we don't have to go too far. Into that. But it's not as much as Khalil Mack, but I do think that there's just still too many holes on this team. Now, granted, Gabe Jackson is taking $10 million up as well. Is that warranted? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Is Gabe Jackson at $10 million worth more or equal or less than Yannick Ngakoue at $20 million?
I think it's more valuable to have Gabe Jackson at $10 million just because of the offensive line. We have that continuity as a team, and I feel like trying to replace Gabe Jackson is going to hurt if we do trade him. But I'd rather keep him because, like I said before, offensive line makes the quarterback. The quarterback can't do everything by itself. So if you have continuity and you have camaraderie on that offensive line, why not keep it together? I understand that you want to trade knowing that Incognito is getting up there in age on the opposite side, but that's when you go to the draft and go to undrafted free agents to see if you can find that next Incognito or that next Gabe Jackson. But at the same time, right now, for Derek Carr to be successful and not be on his back all the time, I'll say keep Gabe Jackson before I get Yannick. That's just me, because I feel like we just went out and got a bunch of defensive linemen in free agency, and we might get one in the draft. So it will save us money. So I wouldn't go get Yannick. I would go get I would keep Gabe Jackson for trades. No trade.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you right now, but who knows if that trade does go down? I might ponder a Yannick Ngakoue jersey. Although I'm not one to get an existing player's jersey. I feel like that's bad luck. Every time that happens, they always get traded or something like that.
Like we everybody went out and got an Antonio Brown jersey and he didn't play it down, and then look what happened with that. So
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I just feel bad for all the Mac and Cooper jerseys there are.
I still got my Cooper jersey, but I'm about to get rid of it. I'm getting rid of it once whoever we get in the draft, because if we get CeeDee Lamb, I'm getting a CeeDee Lamb jersey. That's the first thing I'm getting.
I mean, that's going to be a hot jersey.
Matt got $141 million. Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? What is that per year though? I saw that too. I saw that as well. That you hooked us up with that information, but I don't know what that is per year. But I think it was like 25 or something like that. So much more. than the 20 that Ngakwe wants. But still, you're paying $20 million for one player. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's almost quarterback money.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's about quarterback money too. So, yeah, I mean, thank y'all for all of y'all for tuning in because we are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have ourselves a great draft party, and we're going to just show up and show out, and we're going to get ready for this draft. It's 9 minutes until the draft actually starts. So, as far as your hot take that we talked about in messaging, tell us that hot take. How are you feeling about that hot take that you told me today?
all right.
Let the Raider Nation know.
Okay, so we talked about this a couple months ago. I think our first time that we hung out together back at the studio.
Right.
Um, I had an inkling, just the way that he matches up with John Gruden's system and the way that his talents perfectly match what he wants in that position. I said, man, DeAndre Swift very much seems like a guy that John Gruden would love to have in his offense. He's very much like, he's great in the passing game, in the receiving game. He's great in pass protection, all the things that John Gruden likes. He's big school guy, fast, elusive, the best running back in the elite, in the draft this year. Some will say by a long shot. And I know that it's not an extreme position of need, but it is a position of need. We've talked or I've heard from a lot of other podcasts, and I've also read online that, some people are looking for a running back in round 3, which I agree with. And we both talked about. My hot take, DeAndre Swift at number 19 to the Las Vegas Raiders. That's my hot take. I don't know why. I'm
Wow.
just really feeling it. And I feel like with that pick, they solidify, not only do they solidify, they make the running back group the best in the NFL. Um, and with John Gruden, he wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball down your throat. He wants to run the ball a ton. And he loves the running backs out of the backfield. Dink and dunk passes. That's how he wants to run his offense. And so that's my hot take. If that happens, holy cats, I'm going to look like a genius. It very well may not, but that's my hot take.
So, Raider Nation, I know y'all in the chat. How do you feel about that hot take? At number 19, the Raiders do select DeAndre Swift, running back out of Georgia. I would love it per se, knowing that DeAndre Swift is from my hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, yes, I would love to see DeAndre Swift come to the Raiders, knowing that I live in Philadelphia and I watched him play in high school. Then I watched him play at Georgia. So for him to get drafted to my favorite team, that would be nasty. Like my nephew said, that would be nasty with Jacobs and Swift. It would be a
Uh,
1-2 punch. It would be a 1-2 punch if they have Jalen Richard as a third down situation, or just put him in the slot as a receiver. It will give us weapons. I'm loving this right now. I'm loving it. But Raider Nation, how do you feel about that? Getting DeAndre Swift at number 19.
yeah, I mean, again, there are positions of need that are more. But the thing is this: after cornerback, I mean, you're really like it really drops after the first couple prospects. You're going. I'm trying to think here. You're going to go Henderson because Okuda is definitely not going to be there. Let's look here and see what we're thinking. And then right after that, Diggs and Jalen Johnson, who we talked about before, they're really kind of talent wise, that's a real step down. You could maybe get those guys in the second round, third round, potentially. You're even looking at some guys like AJ Terrell from Clemson. Those guys might one of those guys might drop to the third, talent wise, depending on how the draft falls. And the talent isn't there. Same thing with running back. Other than, once DeAndre Swift's off the board, he's the only one that could potentially go in the first round. Everybody else is looking at like second round best. So, if you can't get your cornerback that you like, maybe they grab him along with the wide receiver. And then at that point, Derek Carr has absolutely no excuse this year.
Yeah, Derek Carr would have no excuse this year, knowing that we'll get a wide receiver and get a running back in the first round, and that would just put the icing on the cake. I think we should go out and still get another wide receiver if we do decide to trade back, or get one in the third round just to have the two playmakers. Because, like I said, this wide receivers draft is pretty deep of players who to get. So even if we do get one in the third round, that's still gonna be a quality receiver in my personal opinion. And I did I don't know if you saw the video that I posted a couple of days ago about Lynn Bowden Jr., the wide receiver from Kentucky. The guy reminds me of a Deshaun Jackson, that he could do kick returns, punt returns, and he could play the slot, help out with Renfro at times too. So if he's
I
there,
think you can get a guy like him. I think, were you saying that you can get a guy like him in the third round? Because I mean, you could get him a lot later, I think, than like, your Higgins, or your Mims from Baylor and stuff like that, who are really looking like, first, second round picks.
right. And then Lynn Bowden, he might be at that third round. He might be available in the third round, knowing that he's projected to go in the fourth or the fifth. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I would like to get him in the third, especially if we get a running back at 19. I'll say go get a wide receiver in the third and get our last two third round picks and get two defensive players or something of that nature. Because I still love AJ Dillon, and it's just like sad that if we get DeAndre Swift at 19, we won't get a chance to get AJ Dillon now. But I see what you're getting, how trying to shake things up and make, because DeAndre Swift is the best running back on the draft board, and then it's Jonathan Taylor. So they're looking at as DeAndre Swift being the first one coming off the board, but that's the biggest one. That's the biggest part. So if we could get DeAndre Swift at 19, I'm fine with that, and it's still going to be some quality corners, some quality linebackers. And like I said, this draft is deep. So if you miss out on something in the first or the second round, those third and fourth rounds is where you find your key players.
I think that's also where, from last year, that's where Mayock really was the shining light on his draft, was his later third to fifth round. Listen, I totally get it. That's a sneaky feeling, a hot take feeling. I actually don't, I'm reading some of the comments here. I do like the comment about, 9, 10, 12 play drives, more chances for penalties. I totally get it. But, when you're not committing penalties, those things, those 10-minute drives are pretty nice. And I don't think at this point you're not hurting anybody's development. Josh Jacobs, if anything, the more you run him, the more you're running him down. You split his carries. I don't see Jacobs as much as he needs to get the ball 3 to 4 to 5 times to really find himself, kind of like some of the bigger backs, like like a Marshawn Lynch. Like Josh Jacobs was pretty effective early in games as well. So I think that you can go ahead and start with him, give him a couple off. That really is going to elongate his ability, his career and his ability to perform for a whole season. He was out in all those games, dropped off on the offense when he was not there. So, again, we'll find somebody probably in the third round, but I like DeAndre Swift a lot, and he's a Gruden type guy. So that's my hot take.
Okay, so they said the problem with the Raiders is that you have to run much and you drag plays. 9 out of the 12 players a drive, and being the Raiders, they get more chances for more penalties. True, we need to be more disciplined. Trade back with the Ravens for AJ Terrell. I think AJ Terrell is going to fall into the second, depending on who people get. It depends on how this draft stands out. If I say between the draft numbers of 15 to 20, if he's not in that range to be picked up, then he's going to go into the second round. I don't see him getting past the 20. I don't see him getting drafted after 20, because that's going to be a lot of needs for a lot of teams. So if we can trade back and get that first pick in the second round to get AJ Terrell, I wouldn't have no issue with that either. AJ Terrell is one of my favorites that I would love to get. People think because he has a problem with tackling. That's an easy fix to the problem with tackling. That's an easy fix. But the guy can cover. I understand that he had a rough time in the national championship against Chase. Understand that. But if you look at his highlights and you looked at the way he played and the style of his play, putting him next to Trayvon Mullen, which he played with at Clemson, I think that continuity on the back end would be better because they would know how to communicate with each other, learning this scheme together as well.
Yeah, totally.
All right, y'all. So it is 8 o'clock, and it's about to be on in poppin' Raider Nation. The
Yeah,
time is
my TV
officially
is over
here.
here. So if you see me looking over to the right and checking out, that's kind of what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I can't position my screen so I can watch as I talk to you all and as we wrap. So that's kind of what I'm going to be like this, just hanging out.
Yeah, I see that is narrated by the beginning of it is narrated by Peyton Manning, the legend himself. Um, it's just this Corona thing. It's just messed up how things are going right now with the coronavirus, and now we have to all be social distancing and do this. Show the draft. I wish I could show it, chap. Chap, I really think I really wish I could show it to you, bruh. I can't show it, chap. Marcus 85. Reddit has the hookup if anyone's looking to draft the stream. If you have cable, just go to ESPN. I don't know what's so hard about that. I'm watching it on ESPN. If you don't have ESPN, then go to Reddit. But this is our draft party. This is where the Raider Nation is going to be. I know other Raider content creators are live at this moment right now, so I can't show the draft due to copyrights. So we're going to go through every draft, every pick, but we definitely want to look deeper into the Raiders pick. So that's why we had this here, chap. I wish you were able to get on with us. I know that you like to be in the background a lot because you the brother, man. So it's all good. Just please share this in the Raider Nation groups if you can, chap. Just share the stream. Any support is good support, and we're ready to get this thing going once this gets all started.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this intro is going to be pretty long. I mean, I'm guessing that they're not going to have a lot of like the crazy, intro type stuff like they kind of did, with the other drafts, just because it's just going to be the commissioner kind of like in his house talking and being like, "Welcome to the draft with the first selection. Here you go." So, I mean, we'll see how it goes.
I got a feeling like the first five picks is already made, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think that a lot of people are, they're really just wait. There's gonna be a lot of trades, I think, in the top five picks, and I think that's what you're always looking for. You always are like, who the first person's gonna be to pick. Usually, the first pick takes a while, just because they're waiting to see if anybody's going to throw something at them. Right, last minute, they're waiting to see if anybody's going to throw the kitchen sink to try to get him. Maybe not for Burrow this year, uh,
While
but
Vegas looks empty, wow. You'll
it's weird.
never see Vegas look like that. I don't think we'll never see Vegas look like that again. And I can't. I'm gonna turn the TV up, but I'm not gonna turn it up as loud because I don't want the copyrights. YouTube has really been coming down with the copyrights really hard with the sound and everything. I have a few copyrights, but no strikes. So I'm not trying to get any strikes. In my personal opinion, I don't want strikes on this channel. So I might just keep it to a certain volume, just the integrity of the channel. Because YouTube just really be on some. They be on some other stuff. They be on some other stuff. Hopefully we could get this thing started. Trey Wingo is by himself in the studio, but but he has like everybody else like on like an 8-man box and stuff like that. Marcus,
You think you could pull off a suit like that, man? That's quite the suit.
yeah, it is. Wow, look at all those boxes of wow, that's crazy.
You see the one somebody hasn't accepted the Zoom invite yet or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what it looks like. It looks like they haven't accepted the Zoom invite at all. What's going on, JT? JT, what's going on? Keep in mind, Yannick could be acquired with next year picks as well. That's a
Potentially,
yeah.
potentially.
All right, so the commissioner is on board right now.
Let me see if I can do this very.
Not just don't have it up too high.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn it down here. Oh man, see, we're just talking about this again. Uh oh. There we go.
He in
Mute this.
Bronxville, New York. Bronxville, New York.
What up, David Jennings?
Yeah, what up, David Jennings? What's going on, man?
So, Bryce, you're saying that you've been talking about these picks and next year's picks and the future picks. Um, if it's next year, it probably will be more than just a first round pick because you're not giving up the pick, the first round that they want. They probably want more next year, correct? They probably want like a first and like a fourth or something. Is that something that you would much rather give up?
Yeah, I'd rather give up something next year if that's available. I'd rather do that because just of the quality of playmakers that's in this draft. We don't know what to expect out of next year's draft. And we don't know how deep next year's draft is going to be. So if we go and look at next year's draft, if we get Yannick for a few drafts, a few draft picks for next year, I would take that more. Or take one of the draft picks from this year and get like two more of next year. Fine, I'm fine with that. But it got to be in the later rounds. I think keeping first keeping the 12th and the 19th is definitely what we need. So everyone think the Raiders go offense at 12 at wide receiver. I say we go 12 at wide receiver. I say that if we go defense, that's fine. If we go corner, that's fine. I'm taking that too.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be cornerback or wide receiver in your first pick, right? And like I said this on Sunday, unless somebody like Brown falls down to you, the defensive tackle out of Auburn, unless somebody like that falls down, or in some insane way, Isaiah Simmons falls down to you, I think you're going to probably go wide. If you keep that pick, you're going to go wide receiver or cornerback. And we're going to see too if they really like C.J. Henderson, or if they are going to kind of go with somebody else.
Yeah. So I definitely agree with you there. Um, which which will give less value, Bryce Gates would say. Cool. Cool. So yeah, this story came out earlier today. So if he does come to the Raiders, it does upgrade our defense and it helps the rotation of our defensive line. So now the question is, if we do get him, now what would you do with Cleveland Farrell? Now knowing that Farrell's only in his second year and Max Crosby in his second year, and knowing Yannick is an edge rusher or edge pass rusher or a run stopper. What you do with Farrell now, knowing he's the fourth overall pick? So did you put him? You put him keep him as a starter, or put Yannick there?
Well, first things first. I don't think you can have enough depth and talent on your defensive line across the board. We talked about that earlier with the Raiders bringing in a bunch of defensive tackles in free agency just to bolster depth at that position. You can't have enough defensive line talent. And I think if you can rotate on the defensive end, and don't forget, Cleveland Farrell was also playing a little bit inside. Now he's apparently gained a lot of strength and he's gained some weight over the offseason. I wouldn't be surprised in some of those pass rushing downs that you see him moved inside. And then have Ngakwe and Crosby or Ngakwe and Nassib in there as well.
What the F, man? I can't even watch the live without paying. Who said that? J Dog. Who said that? J Dog. Pick number 12 should be CD Lamb. Marcus 85 said, okay, so Farrell is a run stopper. What's going on, Enrique? Enrique, what's going on, brother? Thank you for coming in, man. Thank you for coming in. Really do appreciate it. Please go show love to my team. My team is live as well. They're live on their channel. I'll put that in the chat right there. But all these commercials is going to make this draft a pretty bit long first round.
Yeah, we're in for the long haul here, man.
Yeah, we're in here for the long haul, so we're definitely um, going to be here, man. So I'm so happy that we finally got sports in some instance, just because of what's everything going on. We really couldn't get nothing that was actually live in like the last month or so. So yeah, I'm happy to be interacting with everybody in the chat. Happy to have my brother Eli on here, my partner in crime when it comes to Raiders talk. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. It's going to be we're in here for the long haul. Just let you know, it's going to be like 31 teams that's have a pick, because the Bears do not have a pick in this first round, thanks to us. Thanks to
Raiders are the only team with multiple picks in this first round.
Yeah, I think, as what I've known, yes, I think we like one of the only teams that have multiple picks in this first round, thanks to the Bears. Shout out to my brother Malguli, he's a Bears fan, and I told him like that Khalil Mack trade we might just end up winning. So, thank you for another first round pick, because you did give us one last year as well. So thank
Yeah.
you for that. Really do appreciate it, man.
Well, that would actually be pretty bizarre if my hot take comes to fruition. We would be using a first round pick. Both Bears' first round picks would be on running backs, wouldn't they?
Yeah, there'll be running backs.
Interesting.
That would be
And,
interesting. So out of all of our Raiders, picks, how do you see this draft going between the first overall pick to at least up to our pick? How do you think you see this going?
well, I do think there's going to be a trade. Um, I do think that Miami. Uh, Hold on, let me go back here. I do think there's going to be a trade at some point to try to jump into the top. Miami also has, by the way, multiple first round picks. Um, I could see somebody trading up because of that to Miami's, or not to Miami, to Detroit. That's what I've been kind of hearing a little bit to try to nab Okuda, or one of the offensive tackles, even if not a quarterback. So I can see that happening in the top 10. I think there's going to be a lot of offensive tackles taken. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if both Judy and CeeDee Lamb are gone by the time the Raiders pick, which I know would bum a lot of people out, but we still have needs, and there's a lot of options and a lot of different ways that we can go when it comes to cornerback, or defensive tackle, or even running back, like I said.
So I feel like this draft is going to start at 8:30. I really have this feeling that it is going to start at 8:30 or 8:15 ish, because they still talking and talking and talking. So this probably won't be done till like 12 o'clock. Who really knows what's going to happen with this draft? Hopefully we could get the first couple picks out of the way, like the first, I say 1 through 5, get those out of the way, get us closer to the Raiders. So I mean, if CeeDee Lamb and Judy is off the board before we get there, who do you think they would? Who do you think Judy and CeeDee Lamb will go to if they're not there by the time we're at number 12?
Well, I think that the Cardinals. Well, we had. Let's see here. Hold on a second. Good old Peter Schrags here. Sorry about that. I think personally that I think the Cardinals would be one that would be picking potentially, even though they got DeAndre Hopkins. I think they really want to bolster what what their young back needs. And let me get back here on this draft list here on the draft tracker. And then also there could be one of the teams that is looking for a wide receiver to trade up before the Raiders pick, because they know the Raiders are trying to grab one, whether that be the Eagles, whether that be the Broncos, or even the 49ers. Who knows? One of those teams could jump up and grab the other one if indeed the Cardinals do grab CeeDee Lamb or Judy.
Now, if the Cardinals does that, wow! Look at that Cincinnati like watch party like they have going on. That's crazy. Why the Raiders? Where the Raiders one at? I want to see the Raiders watch party. I know they got one on here.
Well,
I
maybe they have one for each team or something like that.
I wish we could have been a part of that, man. I really wish we could have.
Well, I know a lot of a lot of our Raiders fan pals, especially in the black hole here in Philly, the Philly area black hole,
Hmm.
the Philly chapter. We're planning on going down to Vegas. Just obviously didn't work out for them.
Yeah, I want to go to like hopefully with all this social distancing and everything's going on, hopefully that we could actually go to Raiders games this year in Las Vegas. Hopefully that stadium, that beautiful stadium, especially when they show it at nighttime. If we have a night game, man, I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to travel. Baker, what's going on? Luca, what's going on? Shout out to y'all, man. Luca and Baker, go over to the Spotlight Sports Network, and please go subscribe to that channel as well. Please go subscribe to that channel. My brothers, Mal Gooley, Jake from Snake Sports Talk, Key in the building, they all over there live for the draft. So please go over there and support them right now. They got the Seahawks Nation over. They just saw the Seahawks now. Show the Raiders, man. That's one thing I feel about the NFL. They treat the Raiders some type of way. I think they do.
Oh yeah.
I think they do. I think they do this to us every year. Like they always give us a tough schedule. They always try to do something to not include us or rip us off like that. And I found that out. And it's a memory. I don't want to go back down memory lane. Going down like that whole index card thing for the first down against the Dallas Cowboys really had a real bad taste in my mouth. Like this is the NFL doing to rip the Raiders off. This is what we're doing. And I just felt like the NFL just has something against us ever since. Not even that. Ever since the Tuck rule, we have been one of non-supported teams in the NFL. So
Well, I mean, it could go, for us older fans and fans older than me. I mean, it goes back even before Al Davis, moved the team to L.A. He was always at odds with the commissioner, Pete Rozelle back in the day. So I think it goes back even farther than that, where Raiders fans have really thought that their team has kind of not been treated fairly by the league and the refs, which, there's a lot of evidence about that, but what are you going to do? Just win, just win, baby. That
just
you got
win, baby.
everything,
That's what it is. And
got everything
right now,
against you. But
and right now, the Cincinnati Bengals are officially on the clock. So we all know where it is. It's Joe Burrow here. If it's not Joe Burrow, then I don't know what the hell the Cincinnati Bengals are doing. I have no clue here, but I really hope it's 8 minutes left in the first round, the first pick. So hopefully they could get this pick over with and get right back to it. I like what you're doing with the channel now. Thank you, Luca Rosano. Really do appreciate it. Masterman 23. Higgins is a stud. He does remind me of a little bit of Michael Crabtree. I said that on the live hangout yesterday. You can't watch it without cable or a subscription. Well, just hang out with us, J Dog. Just hang out with us. We're going to give you pick by pick over and over again. So we're going to be here. We're going to be here.
so, so Master Man, I was a fan of Higgins too. So I'm going to read. Uh, the one thing that I did read though about him that I was kind of like, I'm not really sure is where the hell am I at here? I have all my. Here we go. This is from the Athletic, and he says for a big athletic kind of guy, I don't think he plays very strong. I don't think he plays very sudden, and I don't think he's very tough. For the type of receiver he has to be, being that big guy making plays all over people. I just don't see that grit and toughness you need. I wasn't surprised by the slow 40. He's a build up speed guy. Lott was scheming with him, and he had a wonder lick of 11. So I don't know if that screams, John Gruden, Mike Mayock pick. But I was always impressed with him. He played on a great team. He had a great college quarterback. And I do think that he's going to be one of the second tier wide receivers. I don't think he's a wide receiver one. And I'm thinking more and more, to be honest with you, if the Raiders don't get a wide receiver one, they're going to pick up something later in the draft. They're certainly going to bring at least one wide receiver in as a free agent, undrafted free agent. But, if they don't get a first round wide receiver, that's going to certainly be something that's always going to be always going to be talked about this draft. So hopefully they can grab somebody that can be a number one.
So we got Kurt Warner talking at this moment. We're just waiting, man. We're just waiting for it to actually happen. Um, I can't wait.
That's pretty much the draft in itself.
Yeah, it's pretty
Just
much the
waiting,
draft in
waiting.
itself. So we just sitting here waiting for Joe Burrow to be that officially be the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. That's just we're waiting on. I don't know what's the holdup. I don't know what's the wait. We're 6 minutes into the Bengals being on the clock. So we're just trying to figure out. I mean, I don't know. It seems like if it gets down to like 2 minutes into this pick for the Cincinnati Bengals, they're trading out of that means they're trading out of the first pick. And I think Cincinnati would be the most stupidest team in franchise football if they do that. Joe Burrow is a
Well,
one of a kind quarterback.
I mean, like I said, I think that the first round pick, it might be a foregone conclusion, but they're always going to let it go down to the end. Most of these top five picks are going to let it really kind of go down because you want to see what teams are going to offer you.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think they're asking I think they're looking at what the Bengals are actually, getting calls from who. What's the rush? What's the rush? We all know that Joe Burrow is going to be the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. So we've been saying this ever since he won the national championship. So you might as well just get it done and over with. We all know that now with the whole speculation of, Washington was supposed to be training their number two pick. They're not now. So with that being said, I just want to get to number 12 pick as fast as we can.
Always, man, always. Well, I'm interested, seeing as though we're going to have real insight on a lot of executives homes and inside of their offices, inside of their finished basements. I'm interested to see some cool art, some decor kind of things. Whether it's I saw some sort of like weird kitchen setup in the one dude from Cincinnati's director of player personnel's house. So I'm going to point out some of those things too. And if anybody sees anything that looks pretty cool, let us know.
Yeah, definitely let us know. Definitely let us know. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, y'all. But we're having a good hangout right now. Waiting for that number one pick to come down. We are 3 minutes and 43 seconds and counting, waiting for that pick to go down. Yeah, but we're officially here, y'all. We're officially here. I say milk the time. Sports entertainment is going to fall off after this. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot to talk about after the draft.
Yeah, I mean, but I kind of get it though. It is, the event itself after this is it. There's, who knows when the next live sports event's going to be. Although, is anybody watching Taiwanese baseball? Apparently, they're playing over in Taiwan to empty stadiums. So. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm awake during those games, but
Yeah, they might come on like 5 o'clock, like 4 o'clock in the morning or something of that nature.
good old Joey Burrow. Well, pick is in.
Up, the pick is in, y'all. The pick is in, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely want to shout out to Entertainer Talking Sports and Bad Dog Sports. They are Giants fans. Last year, they went viral over when Daniel Jones got drafted last year with the number 6 pick, and they were so pissed off on how Daniel Jones got picked for the Giants. It was one of the most hilarious things. So I want to know with the number 4th pick now. I just want to know what's the reaction going to be if they don't get the person that they want. They want Isaiah Simmons or offensive alignment. If the Giants go completely different from an offensive alignment or Isaiah Simmons, then it's about to be a whole shakeup in this draft.
So obviously, the pick is in, but they're going to go ahead and just play this whole montage here. Um, you know, instead of just announcing the pick. But
Yeah, they got to go through all the actual stuff that's been going on, knowing that he had a whole fundraiser going on as well. So since he is second guessing, do you think so, Cap? Chap, you think they second guessing? I don't think so. The pick is in. I think Joe Burrow is the number one quarterback, and he's got the Bengals. He got the Bengals hat in his hand. They just waiting for the announcement so he can put it on.
there it is. Yep, Joe Burrow
Yep.
is the selection for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, you had to pick Joe Burrow, right?
Right.
You know, sometimes it's a lot of pressure for these organizations to really kind of make this right pick, and it's just kind of really a simple tap in. Um, you know, good pick. I I'm always hesitant about quarterbacks that kind of have a great last year and kind of are really fast risers. Um, you know, I'm trying to think of a couple that come to mind, but that just kind of like I like a very 2 to 3 year pedigree of good quality performance in college from a quarterback's perspective to really kind of show you. But um, I mean, what he did show last year was pretty insane.
Yeah, I can't lie. He had one of the best. I think out of a lot of LSU quarterbacks, he had one of the best years as an LSU quarterback. Knowing that he transferred from Ohio State, he didn't see the field at all, and then he had a kind of a mediocre year. But when you had a quarterbacks coach that was Drew Brees' quarterbacks coach at New Orleans, that tell you something. And he wears number 9 like Drew Brees. That's the crazy part. So I think like LSU was a pro style type of offense in some instance, but Joe Burrow, I think he's going to change the culture in Cincinnati. Only thing is that you got to get weapons around him that's going to be healthy and reliable. I mean, Joe Mixon is reliable as a running back, but we don't know what you're going to get with AJ Green. You know what you're going to get with Tyler Boyd, and then with John Ross, you just don't know what you're going to get with him either. So, as far as Joe Burrow, I mean, hats off to you, brother. Hats off to you. Number
I mean,
two, uh,
I mean, where do you see this then? I mean, does this is this turning around a Bengals franchise that was super dismal? I mean, granted, the Raiders had a hard time beating them last year. It's not like they looked like a really good team. The Raiders just really didn't look like a good team in that game either. Um, but they were hanging in some games, towards the end of the season and really putting up some fight. Maybe this gives them, and we'll see what they do with the rest of the draft. But uh, if this guy can step in and play quarterback, for the next 5, 6, 7 years and make them potentially a contender in the next couple, that's what you always hope for. It's what the Raiders could never do.
yeah, when it comes to number one picks, we wasn't really big on number one picks when it comes to the Raiders. Um, when was the last time we had the first overall pick was Jamarcus Russell, right?
That was the only time, and ironically enough, another LSU quarterback, but that was a real swing and miss. So
Yeah, that was a big swing and miss when it came to Jamarcus Russell. Anthony Aguilar said, "What's up with the Raiders and their stadium situation?" Um, I think they're still being worked on. I'm not too sure, but I think it's still
yeah,
being worked on.
they they're confident that it's still going to be finished in time for a projected start of the season. Which I mean, who knows if that's going to be the case? But I think that they were having some issues. I think that there was like a shutdown of one of the sections because something was some people had coronavirus or there was COVID-19 in one of the sections, which they shut down for a bit. But I think everything's going back, and I believe that it's still on schedule to finish for this projected start of the year.
Yeah, so They said the pocket comparison. They compared the pocket comparison to Tom Brady. That's a big comparison. So
I
there
mean,
you go.
yeah,
To
that was the quarterback that they say that he kind of looked like. Although this they're saying now compare what comparison is Jared Goff?
oh, outside the pocket. That's where you compare Jared Goff to Joe Burrow is out of the pocket, and the recognition and athleticism is going to be Ryan Tannehill is what is looking like here. But I thought Ryan Tannehill wasn't that athletic though.
Oh, I mean, last year he looked. He certainly looked like he could get out of the pocket, and that's what I was talking about as far as quarterbacks. You only need just a little bit of athleticism to really and desire to actually get out and run to be able to do it. Even Tom Brady would get out and run once in a while, and he's certainly no athlete. So the Redskins pick has been in for a hot second.
So we all know what the second pick is. I think it's Chase Young. Um, if it's somebody different, then I don't know what the hell the Redskins are doing. But they're going to speak with Joe Burrow at this moment.
Yeah, I think Chase Young is going to be the pick here.
Yeah, Chase Young he has to be the pick. There's no way that you don't pick Chase Young or you go corner, which I think is not really a need for the Redskins. But I think you should go and get Chase Young right here. Go get him. Go get him. Do something right for a change. Do something right for a change, Washington. Shout out to Samoan Raider too. Shout out to Samoan Raider. He is officially live for the draft as well. Shout out to Samoan Raider. The stadium looks amazing. Yes, I saw the stadium. They had like a live stream going where the lights was on at nighttime. I just can imagine if we do like a Monday night football or a Thursday night football, and when it gets like nighttime, oh, that stadium is going to light up.
Marcus 85 says Del Rio's impact on Washington. I mean, Del Rio certainly seems like a better defensive coordinator than a head coach, right? Um, if they can get a guy like Chase Young seems every bit as good as the Bosa's, who are game changers in my mind, and I think everybody else's too. So, that'll be certainly a piece that can help him out. But I always liked Jack Del Rio as a defensive coordinator.
I think he had. I mean, he did have a good year with us at with the 2016 year. But we all know that Chase Young's going to be number two pick here. But Jack Del Rio is going to be an impact just because they have a defensive head coach and they have a defensive coordinator. So Ron Rivera is a defensive coach as well. So they could definitely work together and help that Washington Redskins defense. I think offensively is where they stuck at.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to see what Haskins can do. Um, I'm not really sold on their quarterback situation at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not really sold on their quarterback situation either. And if we do play them, I think it's going to be interesting. There goes Ron
Look
Rivera.
at that weird setup that Ron Rivera has.
That is weird.
He had
Weird
that
as
weird
hell.
he had that like weird Redskins painting. All right, here the pick is in now for the Redskins. Chase Young is the pick,
Chase Young is the pick. Okay.
obviously.
Let me go get something to drink. Because I need a drink when the Raiders pick. Let me go get it now.
Well, you got a little bit of time. Got a little bit of time, but yeah, Chase Young. Apparently, they're saying that he might be even better than the Bosa's, which I mean, both of those guys mirrored each other almost when it came to the impact that they had on the defensive line. So, Chase Young building up that defensive line there in Washington. They picked, I think they picked Sweat last year in the first round as well. So they got a couple bookends there, which they can build their defense around. Redskins are suffering from an unfortunate hex, Real Raider Chap says. Yeah, I mean, hey, I feel their pain. The Raiders seem to have that hex similarly. So,
Now this is where it gets different with this number three pick with the Detroit Lions. Now,
well,
oh, go ahead.
this very well is where we could see our first trade.
Right, right. This is why I think we could see our first trade at. The question is, will Detroit pull the trigger? That's
Yeah,
the
I think that I think that there's going to be some people trying to grab some quarterbacks, and I think in able to do that and make sure they get it, perhaps Miami jumps up to pick here. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're showing some highlights of Chase Young, and he is dominant.
yeah. He's a monster. He's a monster.
Now, if they stay here, you know, I'm going to guess that Jeff Okuda is probably the pick here if they stay.
Yeah, because there's been rumors that they wanted to trade down, and it's been rumors that the Raiders wanted to trade up and get this pick at number three for Isaiah Simmons, but I think that's too much of a risk, in my personal opinion, to go move up from 12 to number three. But they have Chase Young compared to Javion Clowney. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if they're showing some highlights of Clowney against the Raiders. I'm not sure if they.
Yeah, they would show us, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, he's got all the tools. Um, he has all the tools to be an impact player.
Now, if we had the number two pick, just say if we did, would you pass up on Trey Young? Would you pass up on Chase Young?
No, I don't think that you can. I mean, I think a lot of people thought he was by far the best player in the draft. It's just that Cincinnati needed to change the trajectory of their franchise with a new franchise quarterback, and Joe Burrow was that guy. I mean, I don't know. This year didn't seem like a franchise quarterback kind of year to me. I know Burrow had like the most ridiculous season that anybody's ever had for a quarterback in college, but he's so boring to me. I mean, Kyler Murray, like that seemed like a okay, we're going to go for it type quarterback. He's exciting. I mean, I don't think he should have won Rookie of the Year, but I like the way that he looked, at times last year for Arizona. And I'm going to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he really takes them to the next level if they can put some talent around him.
So the Detroit Lions pick is in, so there
So
will
it looks
not
like,
be a trade. It looks
yeah,
like.
it looks like Okuda, they're going to probably go Okuda.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go Okuda here.
Here's a question for the whole crew of you. So, like Darion was saying, if the Raiders had the number three pick, or I'm sorry, the number two pick, um, you got to take Chase Young. If they had this pick, do you go Okuda or do you go Simmons? Even though now you have Kwiatkowski and you have, Okuda was the pick. Would you pick Okuda and shore up your secondary with probably the only day one legit number one quarterback starting potential starter in the draft? Or do you add Simmons when you already have Littleton and now Kwiatkowski on your team?
So Detroit Lions fans, get get ready. Jeff Okuda is off the board. So so they did not trade that number three pick. They didn't move at all. They went out and got Okuda. Shout out to the Gridiron Blitz. They are Detroit Lions fans that they talk so down on the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Marcus 85. I was going to mention that too. Carson Palmer also won the Heisman, and that was his number. So I wonder if if he'll continue to have that in college. But back to my question. I mean, what do you think, Darion? Like, would I think you'd have to go Okuda over Simmons, even though Simmons is such a crazy talent, just because you're already kind of stacked at that position. I mean, what do you think? Do you go need over overall impact there?
I will go with need. I will go with Okuda here at three. If we had the number three pick, if we had the number three pick, yes, I would go to Okuda. Even if we had the number two pick, I would go with Chase Young. Either pick would it be? I would pick both of those guys. It would be a no brainer there.
So let's see here. Um, So then, again, from the some notes from scouts from the Athletic here. This guy's better than Denzel Ward. He's bigger. That's the key. He's not fast as Denzel, but he plays faster than what he ran. The character is awesome. This kid has swagger and awesome mental toughness. I mean, anytime you have a top three cornerback, that's real value there. I mean, that's really going to be a Pro Bowl talent here. He can do pretty much everything. He had the best vertical jump. He's a Joe Hayden type player, but with more length.
Yeah.
Is a scout that said that he's going to get drafted higher than his true talent. He'll be a 10-year player. He doesn't have a lot of ball production, and he is high penalty guy for his career. There's a little bit of balance issue that sort of gives me pause. So, obviously not everybody that's not a shoe in number one pick has some issues, but I mean, this guy's going to be starting day one for the Detroit Lions.
Wow. Yeah, technically, the first three picks is really kind of out of Ohio State. You got to think about it. Joe Burrow used to be an Ohio State Buckeye until he transferred.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I didn't think about that. So we have right now the Giants are on the clock. What are we thinking here? I think that they're going to probably try to help out their new quarterback with some offensive line help here. Thinking of Jedrick Wills, perhaps.
All right, so what the Giants going to do here? Do you think the Giants pass up on Isaiah Simmons here?
I personally think that they're probably going to grab one of the tackles, maybe Andrew Thomas or somebody. I don't know.
Okay, so I mean, if they go with office alignment, if they go with office alignment here, I wouldn't be mad at it because that's where the need is at, especially if you have Daniel Jones as your quarterback for the future. So, but I wouldn't be mad if they got Isaiah Simmons here either because a linebacker is needed for the Giants. So, um, yeah. So if Isaiah Simmons falls, I'm gonna be in shock if he falls.
Well, I mean, I don't know. This is the pick, right? If he doesn't get picked here, he's probably not getting picked by Miami because Miami is going to pick a quarterback, right?
Right.
Um, you're probably going to go quarterback, if not offensive lineman for the Chargers. And then, I mean, who knows? Do you think that they take him to replace Kuechly in Carolina? That he could go there. So if he doesn't go now, he probably falls to
Well,
probably Carolina.
well, that's what I said. That's what I said too. I felt as though like in my mock draft, I had him falling to number 7 to the Carolina Panthers. I had him falling there. I think he fits Carolina than he does fit New York, in my personal opinion. So we are at the 2 minute and 45 second mark in here. So we don't know what the Giants is going to do here. Are they going to trade? Are they going to trade this pick? Right now, the best player available is Isaiah Simmons. Tua is the second best available player, but I don't see the Giants getting a quarterback, knowing they did get Daniel Jones last year. Derek Brown, the defensive tackle from Auburn, he's the best available at number 3. So yeah, hopefully Isaiah Simmons could go to New York. What's going on, Sports Football Simulation Nation? What's going on?
Sports Football Simulation Nation. I
Yeah,
like.
that name is different, ain't it? Name is very different.
I like it.
Have you watched the documentary yet of the Bulls?
Please don't even remind me. So unfortunately, uh, I can't stream it on our TV because uh, we don't pay for Hulu or the paid YouTube. So I can't.
Um,
I have to watch it on my computer at some point. But my wife and I really do want to watch it, but unfortunately, we weren't able to. So I might have to find some time. But I mean, is it awesome? I mean, I've heard nothing but everyone was watching it the other day. So
yeah, it was pretty awesome. We've been doing reviews on it because they do 2 parts each. So it's 1 minute left. Oh, the pick is in. The pick is officially in for the Giants.
So do you think they? So where do you think they're going to go? You think they're going to go Simmons, or you think they're going to go offensive line here?
Oh,
Jared Wills.
I think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna go offensive line here. I don't think they're gonna go with Simmons here. But I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Simmons. Because it is a need. It's definitely a need. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Because once the Raiders get they pick, I know people's gonna come in this chat and be ready for it. The Giants missed the playoffs the 7 of the last 8 seasons. Eli Manning retired. Blah blah blah. Hit that like button, y'all. Let's get the 50 likes, ladies and gentlemen. 50 likes, because once the Raiders get the number 12, I am going to be ecstatic. I cannot wait.
I gotta send out the link to the live stream to some pals here, some Raider pals.
Get the Raider Nation in here.
Well, I know, I don't know if they're popping in, but they're doing a Zoom together. I want to do a shout out if anybody's watching the Philly Black Hole chapter. My boys,
Yeah, Mike Scott and them having the
yep,
party, right?
yeah, they're having a little Skype hang or a Zoom hangout. So, but I'm sure they're hanging out again. I went to Mike's house last year for the draft. It was awesome. I want to say I went there the year before as well. He's got a great setup there. Some of the Jersey gang came out too from the Jersey Black Hole. It's a good time.
David Gettleman.
That's
Oh,
a
oh my God!
that's a
I'm actually
pretty
listening to the
not.
Giants fans in my ear right now.
Oh yeah.
They're, oh my God, they are hilarious, man. They're passionate Giants fans.
All
So
right, pick is in here.
the pick is in, ladies and gentlemen, for the New York Giants. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. We are on the number 4th overall pick for the NFL draft, and the Giants select.
Who they got? Yeah, Andrew Thomas. So they ended up picking Andrew Thomas, the offensive tackle.
Andrew Thomas.
Which I mean, again, that means Simmons is going to drop.
That's not a bad pick. That is not a that's not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. So Isaiah Simmons is falling. So now the Dolphins is on the clock. Now knowing that the Dolphins have Dolphins have 3 first round picks. Outside
Yeah,
of
I
the
was going to
Raiders,
say they have a bunch.
yeah. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. All of our questions are being answered right now. I got the Giants pick wrong in my mock draft. I thought they was gonna go with the other guy, Christian Wirfs from Iowa. I think that was his name. But I'm not mad at the Andrew Thomas pick. I'm not mad at that at all.
No, I mean, I think a lot of people had him as the number one tackle. Again, so, a couple points. I thought he was the most natural and productive of all these guys. One scout said he rarely gets beat. He's got long arms and he plays with well with them and he redirects well. Uh, a Somebody said would like to see a more aggressive finish, and a third scout said he doesn't move defenders with power, considering his athleticism. I got questions about his skill set. But I mean, honestly, some of his pass pro deficiencies make you want to think he's more of a right tackle. So he might be a right tackle, but either way, I mean, listen, this is usually the formula, right? You pick your quarterback in your one draft, and then you surround him with some talent, but then you also build up his offensive line. And if you have back to back, if you have another top five pick, a great offensive tackle, or at least a guy that you can plug and play on the right side, even if that's the case. I think that's good. Dave Gettleman re-putting his mask on here, which is kind of weird, but you know,
I mean,
he is in
you're
he is in
not
New
a.
York.
I'm understanding. Gettleman's probably like, I gotta take a deep breath in this mask right now because I got the pick correct. Because Giants fans pissed him off last year.
Notable players traded in the last 14 months from the Dolphins.
Robert Quinn, Kenny Stills, Kiko Alonso, Kenyon Drake. Wow, that's a lot of people traded. Miners do
Look
keep
at
that team around though.
look at what they're saying here. Picks in the next two drafts. They have 5 first round picks in the next two drafts. Who does that remind you of?
What's going on, Derek Anderson? He said, "What's up, Eli? Are the Raiders going to trade Carr to Jacksonville?"
Oh man, I can only hope that this whole situation would just overflow if they end up trading Derek Carr and picking Tua or one of the other quarterbacks. But my man Derek, he's my boy.
No, they're not. I don't think they trading Carr to Jacksonville. Absolutely not. They believe in Gardner Minshew. They believe in Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. They definitely believe in that. Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Tua is still on the board.
I mean, I'd have to think this is where they have mocked him. Everyone's been mocking him to Miami since the college season was over. Uh, as is usual, quarterbacks will kind of fluctuate, and teams will kind of mock drafters will kind of go back and forth. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is to a pick. I think they're going to get their guy and stay pat at number 5, so they don't lose anything.
See me. So you think they taking Tua here? That's what you're saying, right? Eli.
Yes, I think that they're going to pick. I think they're going to pick Tua here.
I think they're going to pick Justin Herbert here. I think Herbert fits a little bit better than Tua. I think Tua might end up going to the Chargers, so we could dominate him. I would like to dominate Tua, to play him twice a year. I wouldn't mind, dominating Tua.
I mean, it's proven. I mean, he's certainly not a number one pick, but Tua is certainly not Kyler. So he's not as dynamic as previously thought maybe in the beginning
All
of
right, so the picks, the
pick
pick
is
is
in.
in. Yeah, the pick is in.
All right, so you think it's going to be Herbert? I think it's going to
But
be
what if they
Tua.
don't even go quarterback here, knowing they have 2 other draft picks in this first round? So, what if they don't even go quarterback here? What other position you think they will go with?
I mean, much like a lot of these teams in the top, 5 or so, top 10, they have holes everywhere. So, I mean, maybe you want to start building your defense a little bit more and you want to pick a Simmons. I don't know. I just think that they can't. I think they really liked getting a quarterback here, and they really want to jumpstart with extra picks next year as well. I think they want to jumpstart that process by getting a new quarterback in, get him acclimated, so that by next year they have a couple more first round picks that they can start adding talent around him.
Yes, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this Miami pick because it's been my mock draft had Miami trading, trading up, but it seems like nobody's trading right now. So right now we're just looking at Miami. The pick is in. You say Tua, I say Herbert. Um, so either way, I feel like if either one gets picked here, the other one is going to go to the Chargers because that's what a quarterback need. The Bolts need a quarterback. So, but the Dolphins have their pick in. We're just waiting for it to happen, y'all. We're just waiting for it to happen.
Pick is in. Is it me or I mean, is this a thing? Because I got to be honest, I don't. Here, pick is in. Let's see here. And I was correct. Tua
Tua is the
Tagovailoa.
pick.
Yeah. So, again, this draft is going kind of how I was seeing it. Although I did think that Miami was, maybe going to try to jump up to get him in case another team, maybe like San Diego, was going to try to get up to that number 3 pick. They didn't. Detroit ended up standing pat with Okuda, and now the Dolphins get their man in Tua.
So if you look at Tua, sprained knee, left quad, left ankle, broken index finger, dislocated hip,
Oh,
posterior
I don't
ball
like.
fracture. He has a lot
I,
of
I would
injuries,
be.
man.
Yeah, I would be furious if the Raiders picked him, let alone even another quarterback. But you know, uh, that's Miami's guy, and man,
I just hope
I
they
got to
hope they
touch
address
my
the
buddy John
offensive
Wren
line.
here.
I mean, looking at his pro day on April 10th, he looks good. But the question is, what he would do when it's actually a game, like when it's time to hit. How are you going to protect this man? That's what my only problem is with Tua going to Miami. But I'm not surprised.
Just talking some smack to my pal John Wren, who is a Dolphins fan.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this pick. So I see right now if whatever the Chargers is on the clock. I think they're going to go Justin Herbert here.
So I think I don't know. I don't know if they like Herbert enough to grab him. They might just, pick maybe the next best available. I don't think they're going to go defense. They might go offensive lineman here.
Yeah, but as far as the Chargers, they need a few needs on offense. And Melvin Gordon is a different Bronco now. I don't know why the hell he went there. So you only have Austin Eckler back there. So again, probably getting a running back here would might be a good selection. A running back or a quarterback.
Uh, I'm so sorry. I was totally reading something. What was
No,
the
it's
question
fine. It's
again?
fine. It's absolutely fine. I'll say like I was saying before, knowing the Chargers, they need a running back because Melvin Gordon's not there anymore, and Austin Eckler is. I don't understand why Tua Tagovailoa put on the suit. I don't understand that, but
Listen, you got to look good. You're gonna be on TV even though you're in your house. You got to look good.
yeah, I mean, he seemed like he's fine with his hip. He's sitting up, getting up and down. Hopefully that hip, can last him long because he's definitely going to be playing in the AFC, which the AFC is pretty tough. If we do, thank God he's not in our division. I wanted to play Tua twice a year. I wanted that.
Yeah. So anyway, so you were saying the Chargers? They're definitely not going to take a running back here. Obviously. Uh,
Oh, they compare him to Steve Young.
yeah, I mean that's what they've said. Left. I mean that's mostly the left-handedness, right? Mark Brunell. I could definitely see Mark Brunell being kind of more of an apt.
Yeah,
Uh,
they just
you
said that
know,
Mark Brunell as far as the comparison. Throwing on the move. I wonder who they would compare him to throw. Oh, Young and Brunel.
yeah.
That's not bad. I love
We'll see.
left-handed quarterbacks because I'm left-handed myself. So
We'll see. I think Kyler Murray was really special. I don't see Tua being the same. But yeah, I mean, let's listen. Let's see if Herbert's the guy here. Yeah. Now here, looking, they're going to have the pass TDs by left-handed quarterbacks. Michael Vick at 133, Mark Brunell at 184, Ken Stabler at 194. Steve Young is 232, and number one is Boomer Esiason with 247. So, our boy, the Snake, has the third most touchdowns thrown by a left-handed quarterback in his career.
All right, so Chargers, what you going to do here, you goddamn bolts? I'm ready to skip over you. I'm ready to skip.
I got nothing for the Chargers, man. I mean, they're almost like I hate the Chiefs and I hate the Broncos, but it's like the Chargers are like whatever.
Yeah, the Chargers, like, yeah, it's the Chargers. But
I hate. I mean, I don't like them, but I don't. I don't hate the Chargers as much as I hate.
their fan base is not as their fan base is not what it is
All right.
to make us hate the Chargers. But the Chiefs fan base and the definitely the Broncos fan base, oh, it makes me wanna suffer. It makes me want to just suffocate them. But the pick is in for the Chargers.
All right. So you think it's going to be Herbert? I think it's going to be. Who do I think it's going to be? I
What
think
if
it's
they went
going to
Jerry
be.
Judy here?
I mean, I think that would be very surprising. But they're showing Aaron Rodgers right now. They're showing Brady Quinn. I honestly think that I think that Justin Herbert could drop quite a bit. So we'll see, because if they don't pick Herbert, who else does pick a quarterback here? I mean, he really could drop quite a bit. So
But
we'll
half of
see
these
what
quarterbacks
happens.
that they looking at, they're not even in the NFL no more. Like Johnny Manziel, Geno Smith. Well, Geno Smith is a backup in the NFL, but Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he definitely fell. He fell a lot. He fell a lot.
Well, let's see. Let's see what the all right here.
Isaiah Simmons could go here too, but I don't want Isaiah Simmons to go here. I do not want that to happen. Have Isaiah Simmons go to Carolina.
So here's the question then. What do they do with quarterback if they don't draft their quarterback this year? They still need a signal caller. There's still a couple available in free agency.
I mean, they're gonna. I think they're gonna stick around. And if they don't get a quarterback here, it's showing that they are they are sticking with Tyrod Taylor, and I don't want them to stick with Tyrod Taylor because he's just not. He's okay, but he can't win playoff games for you. He could get you there, but he can't win there.
All right, the LA Chargers pick is in.
Pick is in.
Oh, they picked Herbert. So
Like
you
I
were
said,
so they picked Herbert. So Herbert is off the board. So now comes our boys here at Carolina. Are they going to be the Isaiah Simmons recipients?
Justin Herbert is the pick. Wow. He didn't drop like that, like we expected.
Well, I mean, if he didn't get picked there, he was going to be dropping. So, you know.
All right, so Carolina is on the clock. Now, this is where Isaiah Simmons comes off the board. If he keeps dropping, I'm telling you, if he drops even more than what I expected, and he's there at 12, do we still go corner or wide receiver if Isaiah Simmons drops to 12? It's just a scenario.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. Let's see what everybody thinks in the chat here. If we are at 12 and you have the opportunity to pick, let's say one of the, both wide receivers are available. So it'd be CeeDee Lamb or Judy. It doesn't matter. Do you go wide receiver or do you go Simmons? Do you go Isaiah Simmons? If available at 12, no trades, no nothing. If Simmons drops down, do we go one of the wide receivers or do we go Simmons?
Yes, definitely let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat knowing that all those players are left on the board, still we still go and get Isaiah Simmons at 12 if Isaiah Simmons is there. But Justin Herbert is a good quarterback. I've been watching him for a couple years now. He was supposed to come out last year, but he decided to come back for his senior year, and honestly, it made him a top 10 pick. So, like the Chargers had their quarterback, I'm ready to beat up on Herbert now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Cleveland Farrell and a little salt and pepper to get him seasoned with a little salt and pepper. I guess I could have really done better with that joke and that analogy, but you know what I mean.
I love those Oregon uniforms. I don't know what it is about those bright behind colors. He's going from bright colors to bright colors. That's crazy.
Yeah, they obviously I've kind of always thought they look. I don't know. I think that those like super modern, weird looking jerseys. Like I hate Seattle's uniforms. So many people love them. Me, obviously I love the Raiders, silver and black, best thing. But like I like a
Best
nice
jerseys
like
in the NFL.
you
You can
know
add
like,
us.
it's like what's your team colors? Red, red, and like red and or like blue and white or something like that. I'm a very kind of traditionalist when it comes to
Oh,
uniforms.
see, the pick is in for the Panthers. We already know where they're going. It's Isaiah Simmons here.
So they could go Simmons or they could go Brown. I mean,
Ooh.
so I know being a TU guy, I know that Matt Rule likes to build his teams tough, likes to build his teams from the inside out. The offensive line, defensive line likes to be strong in the trenches. I could see them picking Derek Brown here. Um,
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
because then I mean honestly at that point then you're looking probably at the potential for. Well, let's see what this is. I think that this is not going to be Isaiah Simmons, but it very well could be. I mean, they got to replace one of the best linebackers in the league, with one of the best playmakers in the draft from the defensive side. It's it's a no brainer. I would pick him, but again, Matt Rule does love his defensive tackles.
So just to let y'all know, Raider Nation, and anybody else that have a favorite team in here, the AFC West is about to be shaken up with these draft picks. We have the best division in football. We have our rivals as Super Bowl champions. We're ready for the season to start. We ready for the AFC West to take over the AFC conference as well. We're ready.
Well, let's see if we can get three playoff teams and be the first, to get that second wild or that third wild card. I guess now would be the case, right? Because it's the four division winners now and a third wild card. So that wouldn't have helped out the Raiders last year because they were idiots and lost to Denver, and I still am super pissed about that. Um, Losing to the Donkeys, no matter what's at stake, is always pretty heartbreaking. But this year that gives them a little bit, a little bit extra to play for, I guess.
So this was my actual mock draft where the Panthers did pick Isaiah Simmons here, just because of Kuechly retiring. That's one. Ron Rivera's not there. That's two. There's a new regime at head coach. Well, with Matt Rule for the Panthers. So I mean, I just think it fits knowing that they do need a linebacker. It is a need. So you just never know.
I agree. I mean, really looks like Brown might be the only real impact defensive tackle right now. I know that a lot of people are talking about Kinlaw from South Carolina as well, but he's like a second tier when it comes to him. And he's more of a mid round pick, I think. So picks in. As soon as they come back, they'll probably announce it. I'm gonna say Derek Brown.
All right, so here we go. The number 7 pick is in. Christian McCaffrey. He's a one of a kind back. I watched him play at Stanford.
Is he announcing the pick? He's saying a lot of stuff about something.
You know they gotta promote the fundraisers for COVID and stuff like that.
Oh, is that okay? That's what that was. I thought for some reason he was announcing the pick.
The actual pick. I would love to see the players announce the pick, like other people from the organization outside of Roger Goodell announcing the pick. I think that would be different.
Well, I mean, they do that in the second round, right? Willie Brown always, you know, telling people, remember your mothers, happy Mother's Day in a couple weeks. you know, there's my man, Matt Rule. They're showing him. Always loved Matt Rule. Was devastated when he left for Baylor.
Oh my
Devastated.
God, I was devastated when he left. When he left for Baylor too, man. I was. He turned that Temple team into a national powerhouse, man. I was just. And Temple had some struggle years when he got before he got there, and
Yeah, they were a laughing stock. But I'll tell you what, I like his little setup there. His suit with the no tie open. Like he's looking pretty good. Pick is in. Let's see who it is. I'm calling Derek Brown.
yeah, I'm saying Isaiah Simmons here. All right, so the seventh overall pick, the Carolina Panthers select.
Who? It's funny how everybody's cheering from the Panthers. Nobody's booing Roger Goodell. He must have no idea what's going on. Derek Brown is the pick.
He's dropping. Isaiah Simmons is dropping.
Yeah, so I call that one as well. Yeah, I think that he's gonna be an impact player for them. He's definitely gets off the ball, just wrecks shit in the interior defensive line.
Yeah, he's the best. I think he's the best defensive lineman in this draft, outside of Chase
Chase
Young.
Young. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he definitely disruptive. I watched him play. Isaiah Simmons is going to Jacksonville. I
I can
don't.
see that
I can
being the
see that.
case.
I can see that.
I can see that being a place where they go.
Cause
Um,
but then you got to think about it too. Who did the Jacksonville Jaguars pick last year in the draft? The best linebacker in the draft. What was his name? He came out of Kentucky. I forgot his name.
Not Bud Dupree, or not Bud Dupree. No, I know who you're talking about though. He was more of an edge rusher though.
Oh, so Arizona's on the clock. Where do you think Arizona's going here?
I mean, if I were them, I would probably go. I would go wide receiver and go CD Lamb, but again, Simmons is there, so it could be him as well. I don't know.
I mean, you can have. I mean, I think they need to focus on the offensive line too, because you got to think about Murray did get sacked a lot, and he was always on a run because his offensive line didn't protect him. I think they should go offensive lineman here. I think they should take the next best offensive lineman off the board for the Cardinals. Yes, I'll say. I mean, Jared Judy is available too. Isaiah Simmons is available, but you got to go with a need. I understand that is a need. But at the same time, I don't see Isaiah Simmons going to Arizona. I don't see that.
I think that it's possible. I think that it's very possible. I mean, I do think that who was that? Enrique. I do think Enrique, if he makes it to Jacksonville, that's probably where he's going to go. Um,
Right. I think so too. I mean,
but again, I'll bring the question up because nobody decided seemed to want to answer. But
right.
if it does come to fruition that number 12, Isaiah Simmons, and both of the wide receivers or one of the wide receivers is available at number 12, do you go wide receiver, either one of them, or do you go Isaiah Simmons with who the Raiders brought in free agency?
I say go with Isaiah freaking Simmons. You don't pass up an athlete like Isaiah Simmons. I love CD Lamb. Don't get me wrong, this wide receiver draft is deep, but damn, Isaiah Simmons falls at 12. He comes right in our lap.
You got to almost think though that if he falls past who you thought as well as I kind of had an inkling that maybe Carolina was going to pick him. And also Detroit passed on him for Okuda, who's obviously the best quarterback in the draft for sure. But
Right, right.
maybe his just kind of ranginess and his kind of nebulous status is not really anything a linebacker or like a defensive back. Maybe that actually is hurting him a little bit. I don't know.
All right, the pick is in for the Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. It's beautiful in Arizona. It's still bright outside in Arizona.
I'm gonna say CD Lamb.
I'm going to say an office alignment. I think it would be Christian Wirfs or an alignment from Alabama.
He picked Isaiah Simmons. All right, so that now.
Isaiah Simmons is off the damn board. Shit.
Oh, that look at that little dining room kitchen area for Isaiah Simmons. That's
I,
pretty nice looking.
but they got a nice little linebacker core there in Arizona.
Yeah, I mean that listen, that is that's he's an impact player. As long as and those two wide receivers are still on the board now though.
Yeah, we got a few more picks into the Raiders pick, y'all. A few more picks into the Raiders pick. I am excited. No wide receiver came off the board yet. CD Lamb might just fall to us, y'all. CD Lamb might just fall to us. Jacksonville is next, but this might be where the first wide receiver comes off the board.
Potentially.
Yeah,
Yes.
potentially.
All right, let's look here. Let's do mock drafts here.
I feel better Isaiah Simmons in Arizona than in Jacksonville. Yeah, because Jacksonville is just falling apart as an organization.
Well, not only that, we wouldn't
Wow.
have to deal with
So
them.
he played 160. He had 160 snaps at outside linebacker, but as a slot corner, he had more slot corner than he played linebacker.
Hmm. So a lot of people are projecting the Falcons to trade up into this pick, but I haven't heard anything yet about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Um,
anything about that either. Our Raiders better take CD Lamb if he's still on the board. They better take him. If they don't take CD Lamb at 12, and you take a corner, I'm not mad at that. But Isaiah Simmons is a freak of nature, man. He could play so many multiple positions on defense. It's just, and I would love to have a cover corner like that. Knowing that we can't cover to save our damn lives.
so so now they need defense as well. Especially if they're looking to ship Yannick Ngakwe. Um,
So you might think they might go edge rusher here.
no, I mean maybe they reach and pick Kinlaw here. Is that something they do?
That's a good idea.
I know that I saw earlier, like in one of the early mock drafts I saw had Kinlaw going to them. Um,
He was 238 pounds of 439. That is, you will never see that.
he's a freak. The last time I saw a prospect come out like him, who was kind of a oversized safety type hybrid, they didn't really know where to put him at. Was
Oh, Jaguars got the pick in.
Brian Urlacher. That's kind of who I keep on thinking of. Urlacher was a safety that turned linebacker that people kind of didn't really know where to put him.
Right.
He put on a bunch of weight, got really strong, and became one of the greatest linebackers in his generation. So,
Yeah. So you just never know. But the Jaguars pick is in. We're getting closer to the Raiders pick, y'all. We're getting closer to the number 12 pick. Hit that like button. Come on in the chat. I'm so excited. I'm waking up now because we're getting closer and closer. So my reaction is going to be real. So if you're gonna do the reaction, just wait for it because I know your TV is a little bit faster than mine's, Eli. So I just you can do the reaction. Just don't tell me who it is. You could do the reaction.
All righty,
Just don't
will
tell
do.
me who it is because like I think your TV is a little bit like a couple seconds faster than mine.
I'm on the quick. I'm gonna go grab. I'm gonna go grab another soda. Anybody need anything
Anybody need
from up?
anything in the chat? Let us know. Let us know, y'all. Let us know.
Yeah, I think before I leave to Enrique, these offensive tackles are still on the board too. So who knows? I thought that there was going to be a huge run on them early. So there's still some offensive line talent too.
Oh yeah, it's definitely some offensive line talent. Absolutely. Absolutely, y'all. How y'all feeling about the draft so far? How y'all mock drafts is going? You want a Coke? You could definitely get a Coke, bro. That's not a problem. That's definitely not a problem. But come on in and hit that like button, y'all. We are getting closer to the number 12 overall pick, and I am ecstatic right now. I am ecstatic right now.
No, not yet.
Come on, Raiders. What is up, everybody? What is up? Hit that like button. Let's get the 50 likes, y'all. 50 likes is the goal. Jacksonville pick is in. Only a few more picks away. Makai Becton is on the board too. But I understand he is on the board, but I don't want to go offensive lineman at 12. I do not want to go offensive lineman at 12. Absolutely not. I would not want to go offensive lineman at 12. We need a wide receiver. We could get an offensive lineman later on in the draft. The Cardinals don't need him. The Cardinals don't need Isaiah Simmons. What makes you think that? But we only see one offensive lineman come off the board.
Yeah, I mean, again, I really did think that we were going to see a bunch more taken here. Who else could probably take one here? I mean, I thought a potential for the Cardinals. I think Cleveland probably is your next destination for an offensive lineman.
Come on, Jacksonville. Stop showing all this. We want to see the pick because if CeeDee Lamb is gone, I'm going to be upset. For sure, the BPA for Arizona. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. I don't even know what direction is for Jacksonville. I have no direction for them at all.
I've seen mocks do different stuff, but I've seen them trade. Most of the mocks have them trading this pick, but they made it. So
No CeeDee Lamb, damn it. Don't pick CeeDee Lamb here. Come on, Trey. Stop the talking.
all right.
I'm trying to. I would pick. Put.
So he wasn't explaining a trade or anything like that, right?
What?
Oh, here we go. Picks in.
Yup, the pick is in. Oh, they got CJ Henderson.
All right. So it looks like cornerback is probably not going to be. I mean, unless they are going to grab. So the first person the Raiders really kind of had, outside of the wide receivers, is off the board. So it looks like now the best cornerback is probably Jalen Johnson out of Utah.
Or AJ Terrell.
Right.
Yeah, AJ Terrell or Jalen Johnson.
Which I don't think you pick at number 12 unless they really like him.
All right, so the Browns is on the clock. Now, what the Browns need, I really don't know what they need.
I could see them just picking, seeing that there's still some offensive linemen available. I could see them picking a tackle.
I'm not mad at CJ Henderson going to Jacksonville. I'm not mad at this pick. It was a need.
Yeah, and
After you trade all your corners away,
they need to refill the cupboard there. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Henderson plays in the SEC, and the SEC has a lot of great wide receivers in that conference. That's what I loved about CJ Henderson, that he could tackle.
Well, actually, C.J. Henderson apparently can't tackle.
Yeah, he can tackle. I don't know what they said that he couldn't tackle. I always thought that he could tackle.
That's the scouting that I've seen of him.
But looking at these highlights, it looked like he could tackle to me.
Well, they're not going to show missed tackles in his highlights.
All right.
That is a nice little window thing there. What is that? Pretty cool.
This family is excited. Just read it.
Not a huge fan of the white couch.
I'm
We
not a
have
huge
one.
fan of the white couch either.
We have one here down at where I'm at here in the vacation home, and yeah, it's makes me a little uneasy sitting on there. And getting drinks and stuff. I don't want to spill them.
Come
Well,
on.
The Browns pick is in as
Oh
well.
yeah, that's easy.
Is this kid doing kind of the same thing that Christian McCaffrey did?
That's what it sounds like. The wait is over. The wait bid over for the Browns. They need to get back into the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to pick an offensive. I think they're going to go offensive tackle
I
here.
think they're gonna go to offensive tackle as well. All right.
What's my man talking about
Come on,
here?
just make the damn pick.
Here it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that
Yeah.
makes sense. All right. So I mean, we're still intact with C.D. Lamb and Judy on the board.
Yes. I
Um,
don't know. The Jets might go receiver here. The Jets might
I,
go receiver here, y'all.
I mean, honestly, I think that they probably go tackle as well.
Because
I've seen every
they do
single
need a wide
every
receiver
single.
too, knowing that Robbie Anderson left.
That's true, but I think that they need to protect their new quarterback as well.
Yeah,
Like they need to
Aaron
invest
Darn. I
in
mean,
him.
Sam Darnold.
Yes. Yeah, I think that that run on tackles that I talked about, I think we in it right now.
Raider Nation, come on in and hit the like button. We are one pick away from the Raiders pick. Oh man, we've been waiting since 7:30. We went live since 7:30, almost 2 hours waiting for the Raiders pick. Come on in here right now. Waiting for the Jets to
Shout
make
out
their
to my
pick.
shout out to my boy Scott. I think Judy's going to be going to the Raiders too. That's my pick, so we'll see if it comes to fruition. But I think we're going to go offensive tackle here for the Jets, and that'll free us up for the best. Pretty much
It's
the
been rumors.
situation.
You know, it's been rumored that the Eagles was trying to trade up for that 12th pick too. The Eagles,
Well, we talked about that. I think on Sunday.
right?
The Eagles trying to grab a wide receiver. It really depends on who Mayock and John Gruden fall in love with. I mean, if they have one of those guys, one of those three, or even more, more so if they they have somebody outside of those three that they think is really a wide receiver one that they can come away with at 19 or later in the draft, then maybe they do make that trade.
Judy is
But we're
not going to be
getting,
another Amari Cooper Enrique. I keep telling you this. Jerry Judy is better than Amari Cooper. Jerry Judy wants to play the game precisely, not Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper takes plays off. Jerry Judy doesn't take plays off. The guy can ball.
I'm going to read, go back to the Athletic. I was reading something that kind of gave me uh, a couple of things from, let me read these here. Sorry. You don't often see that in draft prospect, very polished. He's very advanced in route running. And then he said something about, I read somewhere where, I thought I read somewhere where he was like, he's like pretty tough. And he's definitely like way tougher than, and loves football and wants to go on. Maybe it wasn't here on the Athletic, but it was somewhere else. But that's where I'm going to go. I mean, a couple more minutes for the Jets. Again, I think they're going to go offensive line. But then if they do that, our dream scenario is here. We have all three wide receivers: Ruggs, CeeDee Lamb,
And
Jerry Judy.
yep.
All of the cornerbacks that the Raiders probably were going to go for are gone. Henderson is gone. Obviously, Okuda's gone. I personally think that the best bet right now is Jerry Judy. Um, and Enrique, I do think that they're going to pick an offensive lineman too. Um,
Yeah, I can see them making. I can see them doing an offensive lineman here, but I know they need another receiver. Knowing that their number one receiver went to the Carolina Panthers in free agency, they really don't have a number one just like us. So these,
look at what happened though. In Gruden's first draft, you really thought we were going to go ahead and try to build elsewhere, and Gruden said, "Hey, no, I'm invested in Derek Carr. My first round pick is going to be my left tackle." And I honestly think that's what's going to happen here with the Jets. The kid out of Louisville, what's his name? Mekhi Becton. Oh yeah, my boy's. Yeah, God,
according
great,
to
great
Mike
mind.
Garfalo, according,
Becton's still on board. I think that's who the Jets are going to pick, and the Raiders are going to have their pick of the litter with the wide receivers
according to Michael Garfalo, they saying that the Falcons is still trying to trade up.
at the moment
Yeah,
for CeeDee Lamb.
I don't know if it's for CeeDee Lamb. They're just saying they trying to find the Falcons is trying to find a slot to move up. Hopefully we don't give up this number 12 pick. I don't want us to give up this pick. 19th, I don't mind, but I wanted us to keep the number 12 pick.
Well, I mean, I have seen some mock drafts where the Falcons jump up and take a defensive tackle, whether Derek Brown, maybe they're looking for Kinlaw too. I'm not really sure.
Oh
But the
man.
pick is, I mean, they made the pick. So the Jets made the pick. I think that it's going to be offensive lineman. I think it's going to be Becton.
Oh, here we
From
go. The
Louisville.
pick is in. Raider Nation, wake up. Raider Nation, wake up. We are one pick away.
I'm going to be really bummed if it ends up being one of the wide receivers. I want to have the pick of the litter here so that we can all have a conversation about who we want to go
This
do.
next three picks is going to be very interesting. Jets need a wide receiver. We need a wide receiver, and so do San Fran. All three of them need wide receivers.
I'm going to say what's up to my boy Wally in the house.
What's going on, Wally? Make sure you come in and subscribe to the channel as well.
PWC is repping pretty hard. My boy Kyle as well. We got some pals in here.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Make sure we actually hit the 2600 mark, y'all. On the Spotlight Raiders talk, we hit the 2600 mark on here. The road to 3K is here. Oh man.
So yeah, I'm going to say one of the offensive tackles is going now. I don't know what Michael Irvin is yapping about.
Come on, Raider Nation. Come on in here. Come on in here. I am ecstatic right now. Let's go. Because if we get somebody that's totally different that's outside of a wide receiver or a corner, I am going to be pissed.
No, I mean, I honestly, I think we're good. I think we're good.
Why is Judy ranked higher than Lamb? Because he is. He is. I mean, according to a lot of mock drafts, Judy is really higher than Lamb. And
I think one of the things that a lot of people are saying about CeeDee Lamb is, everyone's really impressed with his ability to just be physical, break tackles after the catch, and make big plays with his his size and his strength. And a lot of people are saying, the Big 12 defenses, it's not like the best defenses in college football. What type of tackles is he really breaking? You got to look through, who he's kind of running around and running through. So Judy is the better route runner. He's more precise. He's kind of more pro ready to be able to ingest and develop in a pro offense.
oh,
New York
Jets.
Jets are up right here.
All right, Jets, here we go.
Is it going to be Wirfs or Becton?
Mekhi Becton.
Got it.
Raiders, we on the clock.
All right.
Raiders, we on the clock. Let's go.
So now, Raider Nation, everybody in the chat, we have all three wide receivers.
All three wide receivers is available. Oh, my God.
So here we go. So let's see in the chat here, who we going for? Are we going for Lamb? Are we going for Judy? Or are we going for Ruggs? I know that Darion, you want CeeDee Lamb. I'm a Judy guy. Who do you guys want?
Oh, my God. All three wide receivers is available right now. CeeDee Lamb is my number one. Judy's my number two. Ruggs is my number three.
I think at this point, it's going to be very peculiar if they don't pick one of those guys. Obviously they had a head scratcher last year with Farrell when they had a couple other options.
He ran a 5.1 in the 40.
Who's that? Becton?
Yes, he ran a 5.1.
Yeah. So we got a couple. What do we got here? We got Derek 2000, Judy. My man Wally says Judy.
I'm ecstatic. I couldn't tell you either, Mason. I couldn't tell you either, brother.
Mason's paralyzed by opportunity.
Oh my God.
Leafs D sucks. Fuck the Leafs. I like it. Judy, another Judy. Wouldn't be mad if we take Judy. I mean, and we got another CeeDee Lamb. So I haven't seen any Ruggses yet. I'm not surprised, but I haven't seen any Ruggses. I'm going to go ahead and say that the pick is going to be.
I'm rocking
Jerry
back
Judy.
and forth right now, like I'm in the rocket chair.
Yeah, I just think that with John Gruden's offense built on quick drops, getting the ball out fast,
We better not pick Jordan Love.
Yeah, he wants a guy that
pick
can
Jordan
run
Love.
precise routes, get wide open, give Derek Carr the
The
wide
Raiders
open
pick is in. My pick is in.
They're showing some insane videos of,
I know, are they? Oh, wow. Look at that. For Mekhi Becton. Wow. That's a good pickup. That's a good pickup for the Jets.
I think that if I was an offensive lineman, I would only be videotaping myself pushing cars and like knocking down trees and shit. Like that's what I would do. I mean, that's if you're that big and strong, why wouldn't you just always be pushing trucks?
Come on.
So what happens here? What happens here?
We gotta get a receiver. We cannot let Judy or Lamb come. We just can't. Look at that beautiful stadium, the best stadium in football, the best stadium in the NFL that they showing right now.
Well, the Raiders better pick one of those guys if they hope to have a wide receiver one, because it looks like, um, it looks like San Francisco is probably going to pick a wide receiver. Um, do the Bucks now go wide receiver, or do they go offensive tackle as well for their new guy Tom Brady? And then Denver's going to pick a wide receiver. So there's John. Look at
Come
Deuce
on,
Gruden.
come
Deuce
on in and
Gruden is
hit that like button, Raider Nation. Come on in and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. 25 people here. Let's get it up to 50 people. Let's go. Stop talking and make the damn pick. I'm shaking literally over here.
so they come in. They called it. Picks in. That's a pretty sick hoodie that Mayock had on. What if they do something crazy and select Love? I don't think that's going to
Oh
happen.
my
I mean,
God.
it's possible. They did say that they love Love, so here it is. The selection's
Oh my
in.
God. Here we go. Here we go, Raider Nation.
Oh,
Come on.
holy moly!
What?
Well,
Are
speed
you
kills, ladies and
serious?
gentlemen. Speed kills.
What?
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, we've had a figuring it was going to be one of those three guys. Leave it up to Gruden and Mayock to pick the weirdest of the three. Um, I mean, what a prospect, right?
I mean, see, I like Henry Ruggs, but I think CeeDee Lamb is better than him. I don't think this guy is a number one receiver, in my opinion. Are you serious? Henry Ruggs was supposed. Nah. He's not a number 12 overall pick, in my opinion. He's not. But I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, listen. If there's one thing that I know is that Mayock made a point to discuss playing speed at, during his combine. Look at Mayock; he loves it. Um,
How you not? Jerry Judy was the better wide receiver at Alabama. Y'all must not forgot, right, Raiders?
I can't say that I'm disappointed.
I'm not disappointed, but I just feel like CeeDee Lamb and Judy was the better receivers. He's 5'11". He's not a number one receiver at 5'11".
I don't know, man. He's dunking the hell out of a basketball right now. That looks pretty badass. Uh, I'm sure that they are sick and tired of Tyreek Hill just running roughshod around their defense, and they wanted to kind of return the favor to the Chiefs. Yeah, speed kills, pops. Say what's up to my pops there. Um,
He got to polish
yeah,
his route running for me. I'm,
I
I'm not. I'm not mad at the pick at
it's
all.
better. It's better than a lot of people think comparatively to CeeDee Lamb. I honestly think that you couldn't go wrong with either of these three. Um, Again, I thought Judy was kind of more of the Raiders' pick, but
Yeah, I agree. I thought Judy was like the Raiders pick or CeeDee Lamb, but I think CeeDee Lamb's going to go to San Fran here. See,
well, the one thing that everybody was talking about is how much, how well he catches the ball, and he didn't drop the ball every time he was thrown. That's obviously a plus.
I'm not mad at the pick though. I'm not mad at the pick. He's badass. He is badass. Don't get me wrong, but I just felt like CeeDee Lamb and Judy fit our offense than Henry Ruggs does. But hopefully Henry Ruggs comes in and does his thing and wow us, wow us. Welcome to the
I'm
silver and
actually
black.
I'm coming to I'm first of all, I love his robe. By the way, can we please talk about the fact that my man is wearing a robe?
Yes,
Uh,
he's wearing a robe right now. I actually love the hat too.
yeah, he's looking all right. There's Deuce Gruden, John, and the guys. Man, I'm excited. Let's get excited. Explosive speed kills. The Raiders are back. Al Davis from the grave making that pick.
Yeah, that's definitely an Al Davis pick.
But I mean, the guy's explosive. And you know what? He's going to be able to immediately help in the return game, which the Raiders, honestly, Cordarrelle Patterson was great, but like they need somebody in the punt return and kick return game that can be explosive, make that an actual, weapon on the team again.
Right, that's right, Leaves. That's what I'm saying. They say speed kills, but don't be like a John Ross. I don't want to be like a John Ross. I don't want him to be that way. So the 49ers
Yeah,
is on the clock.
yeah, and what do you call it? J Dog also made a pretty solid point. It's not that much longer until the Raiders are picking again. I think San Francisco is probably going to pick Jerry Judy or CeeDee Lamb, but there's a possibility one of those guys falls. Because or maybe to Denver, but who knows? And then also, I guess the Bucks are also picking next too. So we could have three straight wide receivers picked.
I don't understand how you go off the Wonderlick. The one I don't like the Wonderlick the Wonderlick score. I don't believe in that. Alabama wide receivers in the first round in the last 10 years: Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, and Julio Jones, and now Henry Ruggs.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you have, I mean, speaking of the Wonderlic test, when you have prospects that are that kind of close together, you are looking for things that differentiate them. And, you know, John Gruden has a very complex playbook. I know that Wonderlic test doesn't translate exactly into their capability to to assimilate that. But, he's a hard coach. He's a very demanding coach, and he has a very difficult system to ingest. And
I don't think Washington Park. I don't think he's a developmental wide receiver. I think he could come in and be an immediate impact. But I wanted a more of a taller receiver. I just think he's too short to be a number one.
it's got to
Five
be,
11 is pretty short to be a number one receiver, but you just never know what we will get at 19. So Tampa Bay is at 13 now. So San Francisco trades the pick to the Buccaneers.
yeah.
So they only so wow, the 49ers are stupid. So Tampa Bay got back-to-back picks, yo.
What was the trade?
The Buccaneers is about to be ridiculous.
I mean, unless they just moved up one and swapped picks. Is that? I mean, I missed. I must have missed what the trade was.
Yeah, yeah, you was talking. Is Ruggs number
I was just
81?
talking.
No. Everybody's texting me talking about why did we take Ruggs? Why did we take Ruggs?
The guy can burn, man. I don't know. That's a good question. What's Ruggs's number going to be? Is he going to be an 80s type guy? Is he going to be an 80s wide receiver? 81,
He
82,
don't. I
something
don't
like
want
that?
no.
Or is he
Yeah,
a teener? Is he a teener?
I'm telling you, they're going to pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is going to pick one of those wide receivers here.
I mean, if my man Bruce, he knows what his quarterback wants. He's got Tom Brady now. They just got Gronk back. I have no doubt that he's going to either try to bolster their offensive line to protect him, or they're giving him another weapon. Picks in. Arians is totally chilling out.
Yeah, he's chilling out in Tampa Bay. I'm telling you, if they pick Jared Judy or CeeDee Lamb here, they are Super Bowl contenders, man. They're coming out of the NFC. They're just too, or they might go running back. They do need a running back here. They don't really have a
So,
good running back at this point.
off-topic question. It seems to me, I mean, granted, there's a couple like fathead type things on Jason Light's the back of his walls, but that looks like they just put that there.
That's what it
Is it
looks like, don't it?
is it me, or are all these people's offices extraordinarily sterile in their homes? There's no art or anything like that. I mean, there's like three or four different
Well,
rooms in the
you got to think
workroom.
about it too. Them coaches ain't never really home either.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they're doing some things. I mean, look, at least my man has like a cool like bookshelf with some with some helmets. You gotta have something. You gotta have something cool in your office.
They trying to find a good view for it.
Some books of some kind. I don't know. Shout out. Listen. Shout out if you got cool stuff in your office.
Right. If you got cool stuff in your office, that's oh my god. I'm telling you, CD Lamb. If CD Lamb go to Denver, I'm going to be pissed.
I mean, it's very possible.
Oh my god, the damn, them damn donkeys. I don't want them to get another receiver.
I think that Denver is going to end up getting one of those wide receivers. So I do think that that they're going to pick either an offensive lineman and potentially a wide receiver here. But I think they go O line
Yeah, I
well.
would be pissed if one of those wide receivers go to the goddamn donkeys. I would be pissed. I don't want to see Judy or CeeDee Lamb twice a year. I don't want to see it. If they're not with us, I don't want to see them twice a year.
All right, picks in.
All right, so Tampa Bay, who you got?
I apologize that my TV is located over here. That's why you're constantly looking at this side of my face. Oh yeah, so yeah, Wirfs. Okay, so they picked an offensive
Oh, they
tackle
got an
as
offensive
well,
tackle here. Okay. I'm not mad that they traded up for that, though. They
which is weird because you would think that San Fran is looking for a wide receiver as well.
So now
Uh,
San Fran is on the board now. I thought Tampa Bay had back to back picks, but they don't. So San Fran's on the board. They might go Judy. They might go Judy or Lamb here, because Emmanuel Sanders, left to go to the New Orleans Saints.
well, this is where I think maybe those other two wide receivers go
Yeah,
here to the San Francisco and Denver, and that's annoying that Denver didn't need to give up any assets to pick one of these guys.
Tampa Bay. They got there, but Tristan Wirfs is a really good. Oh, he's from Iowa. Oh, interesting.
Iowa strong. Look at this guy.
State champion in wrestling. Oh, hand clean, 450 pounds. Woo!
450.
Wow, that's impressive.
Wow. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is pretty impressive.
weightlifting is really big in Iowa.
Weightlifting and wrestling. Big wrestling. All in those Midwest. It's if Scotty Boreff's still in the room. Yeah, all you
Wow.
Midwest guys are all big in the wrestling and stuff like that. Iowa and Michigan.
Wow. I think this is a good pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they again they have their guy in TB 12. Man, let's take a second too to just kind of realize that there is potential for John Gruden to exercise two demons. Or I guess he wouldn't really exercise demons against Tampa Bay, but the Raiders would be able to exercise two demons by beating Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl against Tom Brady. I mean, is there
Oh,
any
that
more
I would
poetic
love
justice
that.
than that?
I would definitely love that. I would definitely love that. Man, listen. I'm happy we got the need at 12. It wasn't the wide receiver that, me and you wanted, but I can't be mad at Ruggs. I can't be mad at it.
Again, let's look at. All right, so they got Rugs. Look at a couple things here. Obviously, he got a chance to be special. He's not a one trick pony. He's not Ted Ginn. He's not Darius Hayward Bay. He's not just an outside the numbers guy. He's super athletic. He can run every route, and he's extremely tough. So, I mean, honestly, that's if he can run all the routes, he's tough and he's got speed to burn. Uh,
Um,
and a lot of these guys see more than Tyreek Hill out of him. So
Iris and Vlogs, what was the point of that trade? They needed an offensive lineman. and knowing they got the guy that they wanted, so they just traded up one. That's all they really did. They just traded up one, which is not.
I kind of agree though, because especially if San Francisco is going after wide receiver, um, and not an offensive lineman, I kind of don't really know what that trade was about either. Maybe they just wanted to shore themselves, that pick.
I think they've. I think they've. I mean, they could have went wide receiver there, but knowing they got Chris Godwin, they got Mike Evans over there with OJ Howard. Now they got Gronk. Me personally, I thought they'll probably go running back instead of offensive lineman. But I mean, I take it for the Buccaneers. You want to protect Tom Brady as much as you can. You know, he's up there in age. He's not really mobile, so go with somebody that you're going to block for. That's just me. I want Patrick Queen at 19. I don't know what y'all see in Patrick Queen. Like
I think Patrick Queen is a solid prospect. If they didn't get Kwiatkowski and Littleton in free agency, that would be a much better. There'd be a much more potential for them to be grabbing a linebacker. I've said this a few times. They're not going linebacker in the first round anymore, especially
yeah, we're
since
not.
and at this point, you're probably looking. If you're staying at 19, you are probably going maybe one of your cornerbacks, Jalen Johnson, perhaps.
Christopher Adams said, "I hope we get AJ Terrell in a second round pick." Um, well, we ain't got no trades right now to get a second round pick, so we don't know.
Yeah, and honestly, to get a second round pick, I mean, unless it's somebody really far down, like the Ravens or something, we're not going to get a whole lot for the 19th. The 12th would have been what we really gained, like a second round pick and a bunch of stuff for if we would have traded that and traded back. It's still possible that we, excuse me, trade down from 19, but I think they like Jalen Johnson.
He's a stud. We have no studs at linebacker. Yes, we do. We have one of the youngest, best linebackers in the league in Corey Littleton. I don't
Yeah.
understand what you. And Kowalski is an up and coming good coverage corner. I mean, not corner, linebacker. Like,
I think
I don't understand how you say that we don't have no studs and Corey Littleton was the best linebacker in free agency. I'm
if
lost.
if my man Scott Boroff is still in the chat, perhaps he can enlighten us. Is he going to be a starting linebacker for the Las Vegas Raiders? I'd be interested to know because I see him playing a lot of snaps, potentially in a platoon with Morrow, but taking the majority of the snaps at the second linebacker spot. Because that they're going to probably play a nickel most downs in their base defense anyway.
All right, so the 49ers is on the board and they're like,
Pick is in.
the pick is in. Okay. I'm about to say it's like 25 seconds left on the clock. I'm like, what's going on?
I'm getting really excited about this Ruggs pick, guys. I really am. The more I'm thinking about it, just if Mayock is picking him, I think that he sees that he's capable of doing in John Gruden's offense everything that Judy and that CeeDee Lamb can do. He can just do it at a higher top speed, which just puts more fear in the defense.
All right,
There's
so
Judy.
Judy,
Got the nice little pool table in the background. I like that.
yeah. But I don't understand why most of these people's houses got white in it. Oh, Judy might be getting a call.
And again, I'm telling you, there's no art on the walls. Walls are barren.
Well, I mean, I see some art on the walls. I see some on the outside of the game room.
Kyle Shanahan with his kids.
Littleton is overrated, and the other one is underachiever. What? I don't know what you're seeing, but you need to go look up tape on Corey Littleton. He was better than any linebacker that we had on the roster. I'm just being honest.
I think that both are 10 million times better than what we had last year and
Exactly.
and I think that Littleton is better than at this point, better than Queen or um, or Murray. All right, let's see. Let's see what the selection is here. The 49ers pick is in. I'm going to guess it's going to be one of the wide receivers. Oh wow!
Who did they go with? I don't know what the hell just happened to my TV.
Well, they just picked a surprise pick, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle from
Wow. They didn't
Carolina.
go wide receiver?
Yeah,
Wow. That's
now
interesting.
so now Denver has both of those wide receivers. They're probably pretty stoked about that situation. So wait a minute. So they lost somebody in free agency, correct? San Francisco on the defensive line, right?
They went with Javon Kinlaw. Wow.
So
Wide
they
receiver.
have another first round pick on the defensive line.
Okay. We still have a chance to get a receiver.
I don't know if I
I'm not really a big fan of this pick for the 49ers.
yeah, I don't really like that kitchen either.
But I'm not mad at it either because think about it, they did trade DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, so they got rid of Buckner. That's who it was. And I think that they said, hey, this is what works. Drafting first round defensive lineman got us to the Super Bowl last year. They're comparing this guy to Richard Seymour, who was only one of the best defensive tackles in the last 20 years.
Washington Park said we can still get Lamb or Judy. It's a possibility. I don't know. I don't think Atlanta needs a wide receiver, but Denver does. Dallas, do they? No, they don't need a wide receiver either. Who's the number 18th pick?
That's Miami.
Miami might need a receiver.
Well, I mean, there's also possibility. Yeah, they could get a playmaker for their the future for their new quarterback as well.
Because honestly, if Judy and Lamb is still available at 19, do we go receiver there as well, knowing that if they're still on the board?
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
What's going on, Coach Plays? What's going on, Coach Plays? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate it, man. Dollars wouldn't pass up on a wide receiver. Yes, they will. Michael Gallup is coming into their own, and they just paid Amari Cooper big money. They're not going to get a wide receiver at that. If they do, I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas do get a wide receiver, but Dallas need more help at the corner position, knowing they don't have Byron Jones there anymore. So
I mean, but at this point, I mean, is there a cornerback that's even worth picking right now? I mean, I'm going to be curious if it seems like the Raiders will probably pull a trigger on the cornerback at 19, but is 17 a little bit too early for that?
I don't know if it's too early, but I feel like we could get a corner later in the draft because if Judy and Lamb is still there at 19, we gotta snatch another receiver. We have to. We gotta snatch something. We gotta have as many weapons that we need for Derek Carr. We can't make no excuses for Derek Carr this year.
I mean, that certainly leaves no doubt, does it not?
Yeah, it leaves no doubt.
Washington Park, will Laviska Shenault be drafted? I believe he's going to be drafted later tomorrow, second round pick. I don't think that he's going to make it into the first round. He's kind of a tweener, like a bit of a boomer bust kind of guy. I like him a lot. I think that he's rugged. He's built like a running back almost. He'd be really great for some like bubble screens and stuff like that. He's definitely not like a wide receiver, like an X, position where you just line him up wide, which I think, you're kind of looking for the Raiders.
You got to balance it. Go defense at 19, which I understand, but this cornerback draft is just as deep as the wide receivers.
I don't really like it that much. And hey, Uncle Joe, thank you so much for the
The $2
for the
chat, the $2
karma penny.
super chat. Thank you, Uncle Joe. Really do appreciate that $2 super chat. Defense, unless Judy is Lamb is still available. That's what I'm saying. If Judy or Lamb is not available in the next couple of picks, then I say we go corner.
Oh man, I tell you what, I hate John Elway, but I like his little setup.
Yeah, his setup is pretty dope. Raiders love, of course. RD is much better though. Is Isaiah Johnson coming back? Yes, Isaiah Johnson is coming back. He should be 100% healthy, but I don't think he's ready to start. So I'm not too sure
Uh-oh.
about him.
Pick is in.
Are you damn donkeys? Who the hell you're getting? Don't get Judy or Lamb, you damn donkeys.
Well,
Damn it!
so that's one less wide receiver on the board, but you know, we'll have a lot of time to, to rue that pick if it ends up that he turns out much better than Ruggs. Well, we knew they were going for a wide receiver. One of those guys was going to go. So,
Huh. Now we got to deal with him with 2 games. No, we definitely got to go get a corner now. We definitely got to go get a corner now.
so I think
Oh
after,
my god.
so CD Lamb is still available. Um,
Oh, Judy's daughter. She's adorable.
I think, yeah, well, he is a donkey,
Damn donkeys.
official
Now you gotta
donkey.
wear that. Now he gotta wear that ugly ass orange and blue, where you could have been wearing silver and black.
Well, I mean, it's not his fault he's wearing
Yeah.
silver and black. You know, the powers that be wanted speed. Speed kills. Well, shout out to my boy Mikey Socek. Yeah, Mike. It looks like CD Lamb's still on the board for your birds.
Shout out to Mike. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We getting closer to the number 19th pick, y'all. We getting close to the number 19th pick. What are we going to do here, y'all? Raider Nation, put in the chat. Put in the chat what you think the Raiders should do at number 19.
So most people, you know,
With these picks that's going on in the AFC West, it just makes the AFC West just tougher. AFC West is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough.
let me see here. What am I doing? I'm looking at the ticker
God
here.
damn it.
Good old Mel's best available here. Justin Jefferson is also still on the board.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson is still on the board. He's the best. He's the number 3 best player available.
Do you think that Chason from
It's,
LSU potentially is the next pick?
yeah, they do. The Falcons do need a linebacker.
Yeah, he's kind of more of like an outside edge guy. Um,
Man, he said, "What's up, buddy? I love the Ruggs pick for you guys."
I tell you what, I'm starting to like it too, Mike. I really am. I mean, I would have been happy with any of those 3 top wide receivers, but this guy can burn it, and I trust Mayock. I trust Gruden to know that this guy's going to fit in their offense and be able to produce. So,
Yeah, so I mean,
it's badass to be the fastest too. Just something cool. Back to being the old Raiders. Let's open it up. Let's take the top off the defense. Let's score some touchdowns.
so with me now, Knowing that we signed Aguilar to a 1 year deal, and we go get Judy at 19, no, we go get Lamb at 19. Bye bye Aguilar. That's how I see it. Bye bye Aguilar.
No, I mean they're going to continue to, he'll still be on the team,
Ah,
but he'll be the last wide receiver on the team.
he'd be at the
You
bottom
know,
of the depth chart.
yeah, there won't be, there will be no more Doss or any of those guys hanging around. You'll probably have,
Judy
I mean,
Judy went to the Broncos, not Lamb. Judy went to the Broncos.
yeah.
Ah, it's fall. Okay, so the Falcons pick is in. Lamb is still available. Cool. Yeah, he's still available.
We also know who's still available. My
It
hot
could
take
be.
is still out there, man.
Oh, your hot take. It's out there. No running back has been off the board.
My hot take is still there. But I have a feeling this is going to be edge rusher from LSU. I don't know. I mean, what's the Falcons' safety defensive backfield looking like too?
Well, True Font. Yeah, Falcons want to go defense here, but Falcons want to go defense here. True Font has been released. He went somewhere else, so they probably need a corner here. I don't know what's going on with Vic Beasley. I don't think he's there anymore either. I don't think they have really low like. They got to go defense. Their defense has been. I think they go defense here. I don't think they go offense. If they do go offense, they might go running back here. Now the Falcons they might go running back to back up Todd Gurley because Todd Gurley is on a 1 year deal.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't back. They just yeah. I don't know. That probably doesn't seem like that. Look at these guys. Good Tua with his all the quarterback kids look so happy.
Right.
They're gonna be making a lot of
They all
money.
smiling.
Xavier McKinney potentially a pick for them. I think Clavon
It,
Chason. He might go
oh
to the
man.
Cowboys.
So out of all the picks, bro, out of all the picks, what team has let you down?
Uh, what team has let me down? I certainly can't say it let me down, but like I'm confused. I'm a little confused about San Francisco's pick.
Yeah.
Um, it just goes to show you, though. We were talking, kind of talking, half kidding about DeAndre Swift. Oh, well, you took a running back in the first round last year. I mean, you can't have too many good players on your team. I know there's only one ball, but injuries happen, and you need depth at every position too. So,
Xavier
uh,
McKinney would be nice at 19. I don't want us to get a safety right now. I'm telling you, if the best available player is on the board, and Miami has the 18th pick. So if CeeDee Lamb keeps falling and he drops to us at 19, there is no way we pass up on that. I don't think we pass up on it. I don't think we can. But let's see what happens here with the Falcons.
age, okay.
Oh, damn it.
So that's a
Where's
cornerback
AJ
off the board for the
Terrell?
Raiders.
I wanted AJ Terrell.
That's a cornerback off the board.
We got the
So
first corner
we're
off the
still
board.
looking.
No, second corner, my bad.
So we're still looking now at perhaps Jalen Johnson. Um, Trevon Diggs is also still available as far as cornerback. I think that's probably your most likely position, depending on how the next couple of picks go. Because I mean,
He's from his home. Well, he's coming back to his hometown. He's from Atlanta. I would love to have him win the Raiders, man. I love the way
yeah,
this guy plays.
That would be a little bit overkill of Clemson, though, don't you think?
It would be an overkill of Clemson, but just know that him and Trayvon Mullen is the best of friends, and they played, along each other while they was at Clemson. So, yeah,
I'm I'm gonna go back though to something you were talking about too. So who was talking about it? Washington Park, Xavier McKinney. You know, safety and defensive back in general is another, like, just the whole defensive back group is another thing where you just can't have enough talent. And so if Xavier McKinney ended up being the pick, I wouldn't be extraordinarily disappointed. I do think they need more help at corner. So I agree, J Dog, that Jalen Johnson is probably their best bet at 19 if they're going to go that, the defensive route.
yeah, I'll say if I like J Dawg said, good idea. If CeeDee Lamb is gone, by the time he gets to us, I'll say we'll go out and get Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson or what's his Trayvon Diggs. They are the best available D backs as of right now. So let's see what the Cowboys do. The Cowboys definitely do need a D back as well. I think there's gonna be a lot of D backs being picked in these next couple of picks. I don't know what Miami's going to do, but 19, we're close to being 19, yo. We're close at 19 to see what the Raiders is going to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, I can't stand the Cowboys. Even though I'm not, even though I live in Philly and I'm not an Eagles fan, but screw the Cowboys.
So honestly, J Dog, as far as trading back, it's certainly still a possibility
Mm-hmm.
and something that, if they're going to get more picks if they're going to get a second maybe from it, that would be awesome. If they're going to get more picks in the third round by trading back, I'm down. I think that they had their eye on somebody, and it's not CeeDee Lamb. I don't think that they thought CeeDee Lamb was going to be available here at 19. Um, I really don't think they did.
I'm looking at Mike McCartney. He looks weird in that Dallas blue.
Yeah, he really does.
I'm looking at my crew. They think Xavier McKinney might be the pick here for Dallas. They
I
do need
think
some D backs, so
they need some D backs with all those D bags, if you know what I'm saying. Hey,
oh man.
I mean, they're taking their time. They might be trying to trade back as well, since they're taking all their sweet ass time here.
Yeah, they're looking to trade. Once I see Adam Scheffner, that's when I know it's a trade about to happen. That's when you know. That's when you know. That's when you know a trade is about to happen. Come on in and hit the like button. Let's get the 60 likes, ladies and gentlemen. We are 3 away from 60 likes. Come on in here. Subscribe to the channel for all Raiders news. Raiders live streams is right here at the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Please come on in here and get ready for the number 19th pick. I'm ready for it.
So we haven't really talked about the elephant in the building. We dodged the Tua talk.
Yep, we
Uh,
dodged the Tua talk. We didn't dodge the Jordan Love talk though.
well, that's my next thing. Is I'm very confident that that's not going to be the pick. I've been saying that for months. Very adamant about it. It's
Trade
still possible with the 19th pick that the Raiders pick Jared Love.
Jordan Love.
Or
I,
Jordan
I
Love, sorry.
I do not want Jordan Love here. Absolutely not. I do not want Jordan Love at 19. But Washington Park says trade 19 to the Patriots for a couple of their picks. Yeah, because the Patriots got like 10 picks in this draft. With all these trades that they doing, they got like so many picks. Why not? I wouldn't mind trading the 19th pick to the Patriots. I do not mind that.
No, I do not mind that at all.
Give me, y'all can take my number 19 pick. Give us 2 second round picks. I'll take that.
All right. Picks finally in for these bozos. man, just getting extraordinary. It's getting. I'm getting used to seeing the LV a lot more too, and getting kind of excited that we're in Vegas.
Right.
Once all this is, all this COVID-19, all this coronavirus stuff gets to a point where we can all, travel around, we're all going to Vegas.
Oh
We're all
hell
going to
yeah,
Vegas,
hell
watching the
yeah.
game.
That's the plan. To go to Vegas. That is the goddamn plan.
Go to Vegas, the land of speed.
Yes. Hit that like button, yo. We're one way from 60 likes, and the Cowboys pick is in.
Who do they pick? Xavier McKinney. Oh, they got okay.
No!
So CD
No!
Lamb. So the Cowboys have drafted CD Lamb. So all three big wide receivers are off the board. The Raiders got Ruggs. He was the first one off the board, and the Raiders had the pick of the litter. That's who they picked. Now all of them have homes. Um, Now it's really up to what the Raiders are going to do in 19 here. I do think that it's going to be most likely a cornerback or a defensive back of some kind.
Oh my God. He went to the damn Dallas. You could have went anywhere but the Dallas Cowboys or somewhere else out of the AFC West.
I don't think at this point. I think it's pretty safe to say that the Raiders won't be double dipping on wide receivers in the first round this year. But I wonder. I mean, I wonder again if he would have dropped if they even liked him. You know, I mean, maybe they didn't like what they saw out of CeeDee Lamb being Gruden and Mayock.
That yard after the catch, I love that by CD Lamb. God damn. I'm a,
Well, I mean, let's CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee
let
Lamb.
me I'm going to go into my team's chat right now because they are clowning me right now because I said hell no to CD Lamb. I,
Well, let's. So we had a scout, or we had a scout. I'm reading this from a scout off the Athletic. He says he's wildly overrated. This is CeeDee Lamb. Wildly overrated. I don't see an overwhelming trait. A lot of people point to his run after the catch, but I think if you have to evaluate the guys trying to tackle him, he's playing against some really bad Big 12 defenses. You're just not going up against NFL people in that league. I'm just not a big believer in his skill set transitioning.
mm,
So, I mean, I think that's really why.
wow.
Maybe, I mean, and maybe that's what, it could be that Dallas just, got, another bookend for Dak Prescott, and he's going to throw for 5,000 yards this year. But hopefully it doesn't. Oh, Michael Irvin. What a ding dong. Well, sorry for Socek if you're still in there. Sorry for my Birds band buddies. I know that you were probably wanting one of those top three guys at wide receiver.
I'll be right back, bro.
I can hold down the fort, I think. Yeah, Washington Park, Big 12 defenses, they were terrible. It's not like even the ACC or anything like that. So I do think that we can address the running back position and a DB in the third round or the second round if we get one. Jay, um, I think that if we are trying to, I think that we're going to pick a running back probably in the third round. We talked about this on another program that we did last week, but I think that a couple guys you're looking at is Cam Akers out of Florida State. Um, and even Dylan out of Boston College, which I think a lot of people were into that idea. He's not a great pass catcher, which I think probably makes him not likely. But I love big bruising running backs. I mean, who doesn't? If you get the speed, now you get the hammer. Perhaps something like that. That's something that maybe can happen in the third round. Yeah, Moss out of Utah is another guy. Well, short little bowling ball type guy. I have a feeling, Jay, as far as our third round picks, that you're going to have Mayock and Gruden are going to really like somebody in the beginning of that. If we don't end up getting a second round pick somehow, or if they really like somebody in the second round, I can see them leveraging, a few of those third round, a couple of those third round picks to try to get into the late second and try to nab somebody they're really after. But again, I'd have to look at what the equation is for the value of those picks. Although to be fair, that's where that's a sweet spot around those 80s is where Mike Mayock loves picking. All right, so the Dolphins pick is in, so the Raiders are officially on the clock for their second first round pick. Once we get this in, let's see what are the Dolphins going to pick here. Who did they end up picking? They ended up picking their quarterback, so they could probably maybe go. They could go Xavier McKinney, potentially offensive line. Yeah, Uncle Joe, I think that defense is probably the name of the game here for the Raiders, and I'm looking at defensive back. Yeah, Mikey. If you didn't like CeeDee Lamb, well, that's good. They can probably get Jefferson at this point. I'm not really sure who else at this point is going to be picking wide out for the Birds. I don't think Jacksonville's going to be doing that.
All right, so the Dolphins pick is in. Here we go. Fulton from LSU. Yeah, I could see Fulton coming to us. He's one of the best corners on the board. I don't know if we're trading. I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think we're going to make the pick. It's not going to be. Oh, here we go. We got a big trade here.
Oh, I forgot about
So
T. Higgins too.
so apparently the trade is the Dolphins get the 18th overall pick from
Oh,
the
so the
Steelers,
Steelers traded their
and
pick. I mean, the Dolphins pick,
yeah, and
right?
something. All right, so they did end up picking. They did end up picking an offensive lineman, Austin Jackson.
Okay.
So the Raiders now have a couple options. Let's see. Now that it's our pick, we're on the clock. Let's see what everybody thinks that we're going to pick. I think it's going to be defensive back. It's either going to be, I think it's going to be Xavier McKinney or Jalen Johnson.
That's not a bad pick for the Miami Dolphins. They got some protection for Justin Herbert. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If we get
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say right now that's probably going to be. I do think that they end up maybe picking Xavier McKinney.
do you think they're going Xavier McKinney here?
I do think that. And the reason why is because I think, I mean, it could be Jalen Johnson too. I mean, I think it's going to be one of those guys. Um, he's he didn't really run fast, but he's kind of like a leader type guy. You know, that you can put back there. I mean, I really do like Abram, and I think he's going to be a good safety. But
I mean, we did sign Demarius Randall for 1 year too, so we do need something for the future.
yeah, and honestly, Damaris Randall, like he's not like a a crazy difference maker.
Right.
As you saw last year, we lost our safety Abram for the whole season.
Yeah.
Having depth at a position isn't a bad thing. And safety, defensive back in general, is now just so much more important in the NFL with the three wide receiver sets.
Right.
You know,
Hey, Dad, you came home in time. The Eagles got the 21st pick. We on the 19th. Jordan Love time? Absolutely not. I don't want no Jordan Love here. Absolutely not. Because if I go Jordan Love, if we go Jordan Love here, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't want a quarterback in the first round. All
all
right, the
right, the pick
Raiders
is
pick is
in.
in, Raider Nation.
All right, pick is in. If Scott, if it's Jordan Love, I'm going to be very displeased. But I honestly think it's going to be defensive back. It's going to be either
It's gonna be a
safety,
corner or a
McKinney,
safety.
or a safety. Yeah.
Think about it. Kenneth Murray is still there, y'all. Kenneth Murray is still there at 19. And you know, in a lot of mock drafts before we got those linebackers, they was one.
Well,
How
it
many you
was
need?
either
How
him
many
or
you got?
Queen, right? It was either him or Queen. But I think it's going to be a defensive back. I think it's going to be um, Xavier McKinney or Jalen Johnson.
Hey
I
Keith,
don't know.
did you go check the other channel where the guys are on, Keith? So who the Raiders got, Raider Nation? Please come on in here, hit that like button. Let's get to 70 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 70 likes.
What is
The Raiders going to do
what
here.
is the world? What is our lives in quarantine with Jordan Love being this pick? I mean, how does that really just make
Oh,
the the next few months just insane?
my reaction is going to
With,
be freaking insane if we get Jordan Love here. Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
all right. Here it is.
Oh, I'm nervous about this pick.
All right, what's he talking about here? I have this
He
on
said
mute.
he's welcoming our second selection to Las Vegas.
Oh, here we go. There it is, Scott. That's where we're going when all this
Oh,
is
look at
when all
that
this
beautiful
war's
stadium.
over.
Look at that beautiful stadium.
It looks nice. Defensive lineman Ryan Durant comes in. That's not crazy either.
Nah,
Defensive tackle.
I'm not big on that either.
All right. Here it is.
Don't say nothing, Eli. Just let me say it. Let me get it.
I'm not going to say anything.
What? Damon Arnett? Okay, I'm not too bad with that. I did do some film on Damon Arnett. I'm not too bad.
Another Ohio State guy.
And
Um,
Ohio State corners come out really good. I'm not too I'm listen. We addressed it our needs. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. How you feel about this, Eli?
he's not the guy I thought they were going to pick. It's the position that I thought they were going to fill. If they look at this guy and they think that he's the better fit than um, you know, I'm sorry, Jalen Johnson, then that's fine. I think that he was probably graded out by a lot of people as a second round pick, and they kind of reached for that a little bit. But I'm not displeased. He's supposed to be like a tough kind of guy who can tackle. Like I like him.
I like him too. I like him too. It's a need. Um, but I mean, I'm not mad at this pick. Y'all could be mad. Y'all could be mad. The Raiders should be mad, but it was a need that we needed, and we really can't tackle at corner. So, and we really can't cover at corner. But hopefully, this would be. We could have got Murray. Yes, we could have got Kenneth Murray there, but Mike Mayock know what he's doing. Mike Mayock know how to address his team.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest. Everyone's pretty bummed about it. I'm not super stoked myself.
Yeah, I'm not
It is a
stoked.
re.
It's yeah, I agree with you. I'm not stoked either. I mean, it's a need. We filled the need, but I don't think it was the right pick for us.
No, and also, I
No, we
mean,
talking about Damon Arnett.
this is a Cleveland, it's a Cleveland Farrell pick where there's a couple options at the same type of position that everyone kind of thinks is better. I'm really hoping this doesn't turn out to be that same issue with Cleveland Farrell, where it really didn't
Good
prove to
match.
be, a number four pick.
Um,
Um,
I think
I don't
mom put it
know
away.
if
I'm
this
not too
guy is
sure.
going to grade out and prove to be a first round type talent. So I don't, yeah, I don't. I'm fine with the Ruggs pick. I'm fine with that.
I
I'm
think
starting
I
to
have
like
to.
it a little bit more.
I think I have to actually go look up his film and break down his film just to see why the Raiders picked him. It's Damon Arnett. Damon Arnett, cornerback from Ohio State. But Ohio State always produced good corners. That's one thing I
Well,
can say
except
about the
for
NFL. That's one thing I can say
Darren
about.
Connolly, we got rid of.
Yeah, like that's what I can say about the. And I'm not mad at the pick. I just thought he was a second rounder, but at the same time, I mean, we gotta. I mean, we can't. I can't downgrade the pick though. I can't downgrade the pick. I mean, it was a
Well, I mean, this could be something too where I've read a couple things where he's kind of seen more as a better suited for a nickel corner. I mean, maybe they're looking at moving in Joyner to safety a little bit more in this
right.
defense here. Perhaps that's one of the reasons why. I mean, they are high on Isaiah Johnson, but again, I don't see. I mean, they don't have a second round pick, right? This is their second round pick. If they didn't have an opportunity to trade back, this was the guy they wanted. They wanted to fill this position in the first or second round. They didn't have a second round pick, and this is where they took this pick. So I don't like the pick that much, but
Yeah, I don't like the
we
pick that
always
much
do.
either, but I have to think about it when you look at Ohio State corners and what they do in the NFL. It wouldn't be mad at the pick. I wouldn't. That's why I'm not mad at the pick because if it was somewhere else from like a different program right now, you gotta think about it. What corners are actually great at from Alabama right now? I mean, Ha Ha Clinton Dix is old. I mean, he's getting up there in age, so Ha Ha Clinton Dix is out. So
Well, Fitzgerald is a safety.
yeah, Fitzgerald is a safety. So when it comes to producing corners, I can understand why Mayock went with the Ohio State corner because every year is always a top. First, they always have first round corners. Eli Apple was the only worst one that came out. Eli Apple was the only one that didn't produce. But if you look at the history of Ohio State corners that came out, that only one bad corner in the history of Ohio State that had bad corners. I can't be mad at that. I mean, it's a need. I'm not really too excited about the pick, but it's a need, and I think we'll go out and get more corners, or and help that need. Mind you, it's still a lot of receivers left on the board too, so we can't be mad like a Denzel Mims, Jefferson's still on the board. Like we still have a few wide receivers left on the board, so we can't really be mad at that.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're done at wide receiver as far as what the top wide receivers. I think they got their guy. They might pick somebody in the later rounds, maybe, and pick up some undrafted free agents. But yeah, what's really disappointing? Unlike last year, where their super reach was the first one, and you still had two more picks to be excited about, we're done today, and that's leaving kind of a bad taste in my mouth. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think right now we just don't know too much about Damon Arnett, and I think we just have to look up his stature and look up what type of player that he is. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's tall. He's about 6'1", 6'2".
No, I think he's like 6 foot, but here's some good stuff to hear about it. I mean, granted, he's the ninth ranked cornerback prospect and a second round grade by the Athletic. But since I have it
But if
up,
you look at the Mel Kiper's best available, there's only one D back on the list. So it's like, what's going on with Fulton? What's going on with the rest of these corners that we should have went and got? Because if you look at it, is Chason is an outside linebacker. Kenneth Murray's an outside linebacker. Jordan Loves is up there. Justin Jefferson's up there, and Xavier McKinney. So, I mean, and then McKinney might fall, so you don't know where he might go.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Jacksonville nails him here. Oh, they ended up they got defense though.
Yeah, they
Jacksonville's putting
they went
together.
with a linebacker because they trying to revamp their defense.
So here is Damon Arnett. Some thoughts from some scouts. Uh, Arnett can play on the perimeter and in the slot. He is very physical. Maybe not as fast and as athletically gifted as some other guys. Instinctive and tough. Man or zone fit. The concern with him is off the field stuff, and we could probably look into that and see what that is all about.
Yeah,
Uh, an extremely emotional player with what one scout described as a knucklehead mentality. That's not that good. Yeah, another scout said he's as good of a leader as they have on the team, and he's an edge guy. If I'm going to a junkyard, I want this guy with me. His program character is outstanding. His off-field stuff is concerned. So on the field, he's a leader. Off the field, there's some concerns. Uh, yeah, this guy says if you're taking character out of it, I would love to have him in the third round. So it is seems like a little bit of a reach. They're seeing something they like about him that a lot of us don't.
I'm gonna still trust Mike Mayock with that pick because that pick it might make or break us. But right now, we just have to deal with it. It filled the need. House. He is a little powerhouse. So, the Eagles are available, and Mike said, Eli, who do you think the Birds would get right here? I want Jefferson. That's what Mike
Yeah, I mean
says.
yeah, I think that's. Sorry, I got some other Birds fans chirping at me here about that reach, the cornerback. I like Jefferson, man. And I think they said he ran a little bit faster than some people thought he was going to do, and he had a really good workout.
Right,
Um,
Connor Burke, I agree. I do like Arnett, but I think it is a reach for the first round. I definitely think it's a reach.
what about Ayuk, Brandon Ayuk out of Arizona State? He's another guy that I kind of like as well.
Okay,
But
Philadelphia Eagles, my hometown.
Peterson just made the call. Yeah, so this is we have a lot of guys, a lot of pals that are hitting us up, texts and whatnot, and Mike coming in the chat from Philly. I am
Definitely
here
come
in
on in the chat,
South
Philadelphia.
Carolina,
Come on in the
but
chat.
yeah, we're Philly at heart, so um, I certainly wouldn't root for them over the Raiders, but I like my pals, my Philly pals to be happy. So hopefully they can pick a wide receiver that can be a game changer. Howie Roseman just looking pretty suave with his. I don't like that tie very much. Justin Jefferson. He's looking pretty happy. He's looking like he's going to be the pick. He's on the TV, man. He's on the phone. Oh man.
Hey, Dad.
Well, we'll see. Wait with bated breath while they announce his pick. I'm sure there's nothing that the Eagles fans like better than waiting for their pick and
I
Michael
know,
Irvin
right?
talk.
You know how the Eagles are. Kids, Raiders did what they always do. Pick pick the third best receiver and reach for corners. We don't reach for corners every year. We don't reach for corners every year. Trayvon Mullen wasn't a reach last year.
I mean, kid. If you're saying Al Davis is turning in his grave, I think the direct opposite. I think that
Yeah,
if you pick Ruggs, he would be the guy. Al Davis would have traded up into the top 10 to get Ruggs.
right. I agree.
Um, but yes, again, I think we're kind of all scratching our head, very much like the Cleveland Farrell situation. Everyone loved Mike Mayock's draft last year, other than Farrell. That was a big miss. If Farrell can come back and have a good year this year, I think that gives him some breathing room with this with Arnett. Because if Arnett can't pull it together, there might be some questions that need to be answered.
Come on, Eagles. We don't got time.
Well, the pick is in. They're just waiting for it. Here it comes.
All right, so here we go.
I wonder if they're going to have a bunch of Eagles people in the background there.
We don't Arnett. We didn't have a second round pick. That's probably why we went and reached for him. Pharrell
Yeah, we
doesn't
did not.
impress
That's the
me,
thing.
but he's going to be a rotational player.
All right. I mean, Rieger from TCU, um, Jalen Rieger.
He's not a bad pick.
Fast game breaker from TCU. Yeah, I think that
He's 5'10", 200 and
I
six
think
pounds.
yeah, I think the birds made out okay with that
I
one.
think I think I think I think Justin Jefferson is not a number one receiver. That's why he's fallen. He's more of a slot receiver. Y'all got Jalen Rager, wide receiver from TCU.
You didn't get Oregon Bull?
Oregon?
The one from Oregon.
Who's from Oregon?
What's his name?
What wide receiver?
From Oregon.
There's no wide receiver in the draft coming out of Oregon.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because we had an eye
I
on
think he's thinking of maybe Baylor.
You might thinking Baylor. You might thinking Denzel Mims.
No, it's Oregon. They was profiling him today at the job I was looking at.
I could tell you, I think Jalen Rager is a good pick here.
I mean, I certainly don't mind it. What do y'all think, Eagles fans? Let's see here.
No comment.
I mean, this is a deep wide receiver class. It's a deep wide receiver class.
I agree. And then once you're past those three, the rest of the next three or four are pretty much lumped together. So I think that's Jefferson over Ruggs. No
Nah,
way.
no
I don't know.
way. I wouldn't have taken Jefferson over Ruggs. Are you bugging?
I,
No.
I'm
Yeah, I
more,
wouldn't
more
take
and more,
Justin Jefferson over Henry Ruggs. I wouldn't.
more and more. I'm
Henry
actually
Ruggs
really
is a
starting to like
problem.
that Ruggs pick.
He only dropped one pass last year. He only,
Watch the Pats get love. I could see that happening, Ed.
Jordan Love is going to the Patriots. I said it in my mock draft. Jordan Love is going to the Patriots. I
Yeah, yeah, Pop. He's this guy is fast. He's a game breaker. So hopefully you guys got a good one as well. We've got a couple fast wide receivers on our teams.
You got Jerry Judy. Who Judy go to?
Judy went to the damn Broncos. I'm over it.
He should have went to Atlanta.
They don't need no receivers in Atlanta.
They would put him with Julio Jones and what's his name, Tyler Miller. They put all the
We gotta deal with Jerry
Um,
Judy for the next for 2 games a season. I'm over it.
They got a nice quarterback though.
Our quarterback is alright, but I think it was a reach. But I think the reason why we went out and got him because we don't have no second round pick. So
yeah, I think no. Ruggs, listen, Ruggs is definitely a wide receiver in the league. He can also return kicks, but he's not just a punt and kick return specialist. The guy can actually run the routes and is a talented
oh
offense
yeah,
or
they're building
offense.
their offensive line.
From Alabama,
Yeah,
tackle.
yeah.
I mean, I yeah, I mean, I will say this. I'm confident in the fact that Mayock and Gruden looked at every single angle of Ruggs being able to run all the routes that Gruden wants. Just listen to him talk about what he needs in wide receivers. You need to be able to run every single route. Not only your route, but you need to be able to run and know what everyone else is running on that offense. It's not going to take anybody. And that's why I really thought Judy was going to be the pick, but obviously, they think that he is not just the guy that can handle that, but he's
Waiting, according to sources, so the Chargers are on the clock.
They got a quarterback too. They got
They got
Hubert.
they got Herbert.
Yep, from Oregon.
The Chargers are officially on the clock as what it. The Chargers about to be on the clock.
This their second pick in the first round.
what was the trade?
So the trade was I'm about to go to it from Ian Rappaport. So the Vikings pick is in. The Patriots are trading. Sources says so the Chargers will be on the clock after. They'll be on the clock. I think the 24th pick will be going to the Chargers instead of the Patriots.
Um,
But if you notice, the people that at his size, Washington Park doesn't technically run routes. But look at Steve Smith. When Steve Smith could be a damn near a Hall of Fame wide receiver, knowing he never won a Super Bowl, but he was almost the same height as Henry Ruggs. He wasn't a real great route runner, but he proved everybody wrong. That's
all
who
right.
Henry Ruggs reminds me of.
Listen, let's read some scouts here. Uh,
He, we talking about
yeah,
as far as
let's
running
let's let's
routes.
reread this from some scouts here. These are scouts. He has a chance. This is about Henry Ruggs. He's a chance to be special because he's got the rare trait of speed, but he's not just a one-trick pony. He's not Ted Ginn. He's not Harris David Bay. He's not just an outside the numbers guy. He's super athletic. He can run every route. He's extremely tough. When you talk to people in Tuscaloosa, he's the most competitive kid in the program. You want to draft playmakers, and he's got a chance to be a playmaker. He's a significantly better player coming out than Tyreek Hill was. This is Scout saying this. Uh, Another scout says often when the team tries to make speedsters into more than they are, they struggle. He may turn into more than that. We'll see. I don't see Tyreek Hill. He sees more than that. And then, yeah.
I don't like.
Some
I
people
just
did say when you get on him, you don't see the same speed and route running. But again, Mayock said the direct opposite when he was talking at the combine. He said, "Hey, play speed is totally different than running speed.
exactly.
We're very much aware of that. We're looking into every single wide receiver in this deep wide receiver class. So all I know is that the guy can fly. He's a great playmaker. He catches the ball, and John Gruden and Mayock think that the guy can run routes to be in this offense. I don't think that they missed on this
I
guy.
don't even.
I don't think they
You know,
missed on him, but I just felt like as far as yards after the catch, I think CeeDee Lamb was the better receiver for yards after the catch. But if you want to talk about hands, Henry Ruggs does have better hands than CeeDee Lamb. But Jared Judy was the best receiver on the
But
board.
if you watch Rugg, feet speed and his technique for getting getting off the line. He's very good.
Right.
He's very good.
Right. So who the Vikings get here?
That means he can't get jammed at the line.
Right.
The Vikings. I don't know. They
Oh, they
probably. I mean,
got
they.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay, I was going to say they might go wide receiver, and they
And
did great.
I'm not.
Wide receiver. This is a wide receiver draft.
Yes, but I'm not mad at that because knowing they traded Stephon Diggs.
Where they trade him to?
They traded him to the Bills.
Yeah, so the Bills have Stephon Diggs. They need to replace that. This pick makes sense.
I love the Justin Jefferson
He's gonna
pick.
make a big impact.
He is going to make a big impact. Knowing you playing on the opposite side of Adam Thielen, yeah.
If Steelers don't get hindered, Steelers is injury prone now.
So now the Chargers are on the clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean,
They might
honestly,
go-
at the end. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, listen. At the end of the day, we knew there was the three-headed monster, right? There was the top three wide receivers. There were all three of those guys were going to go to different places. We're going to have to see how they all turn out. I'm very excited that the Raiders got Ruggs. I'm excited the Raiders got one of those guys, and I'm excited about the big playability this guy brings to the offense. I mean, I thought Judy was the better pick, but he's certainly not the more explosive player. And sometimes you just need that extra kick in the ass. And the Raiders' offense definitely needs some explosive
He's
plays.
saying Ruggs don't have better hands than CeeDee Lamb. Go look at the stats and see how many drops CeeDee Lamb has compared to Henry Ruggs, and then we'll talk about it. Because Henry Ruggs don't really have no drops.
But the thing is, too, CeeDee Lamb was a lot more focused as far as a pass catcher. Ruggs had Jerry Jeudy on the other side. But that being said,
Yeah, they had multiple wide receivers in Alabama. It wasn't just Ruggs or Judy. It was the other guy too that didn't even come out the draft. He comes out next year. He might be a top receiver next year in the draft.
he'll be a first round pick next year.
Right.
You don't know what he's coming in, what the class they got this year.
Exactly. So
They keep a stack.
they always keep a stack. Alabama always keep a stack of wide receivers.
Big, strong wide receivers, too.
Whole thing, Carr is a dink and duck, not a big play quarterback. That's why with these little slants and these dink and dunk routes.
I disagree that he's just Carr just a dink and dunk, not a big play QB. If you look at that 2016 year when he had playmakers that ran deep balls and ran deep routes, he threw the deep ball very well. That's what I'm not understanding. Like Derek Carr.
But that's not the offense that John Gruden runs.
Right.
In John Gruden's offense, it's all West Coast. 3-step drop, get the ball out very quickly, which Derek Carr did, to the point of where he was literally, when he wasn't seeing his first read or second read, he was gunning the ball into the dirt, which, that's a whole nother story. But that being said, a guy like Ruggs, those are we didn't have anybody that could turn a crossing pattern like that into a 70-yard touchdown last year. We didn't have anybody on the team that could stretch the defense that way.
So,
I'm not talking about stretching the defense by throwing a 75-yard bomb. I'm talking about actually having the speed to back everybody off coverage, come underneath, and actually make some dynamic plays that way.
So the Chargers get the 23rd pick, and the Patriots get a second round and a third round pick. So you just add more to your picks. The Patriots got like 11 picks in this draft. Jesus Christ.
Good slot receiver for y'all last year.
Well, I mean, they don't have Tom Brady anymore, so they gotta pick a million people.
Mm-hmm. I think our wide receiver core is fine. I think now that we have Henry Ruggs, we got Hunter Renfrow, and Tyrell Williams can stay healthy, and then here and there, if we could see what Nelson Aguilar could do, see if he could redeem himself. We got tight end situation is fine with Darion Waller. We got Jason Witten. We got Nick O'Leary.
Cowboys?
Yeah.
He left the Cowboys?
Yeah.
When did this come about?
In the free agency, Dad.
Wow.
The Cowboys didn't re-sign him.
And he came out retirement for that.
Yup. Wow. But it is what it is. So the Chargers are on the clock. I want to see what the Chargers get because we got to play them twice a year. So we got to look at Justin Herbert twice a year. They need like I said, they need a running back too. I ain't seen no running back yet.
I could only hope that the Patriots are done. So says Kid. Yeah, talking about Carr being scared in the pocket. That I mean, that was one of the things that we've been talking about. That's one of the issues. He's very quick to throw the ball in the dirt. But to be fair, I have no doubt. And let's see this selection here. Okay, so the Chargers
Oh,
ended
they
up.
got Kenneth
Yeah,
Murray.
they ended up getting the linebacker Murray.
Oh, they got inside linebacker?
Oh God.
Huh? Well, he was nigga. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's a good pick for them. I mean, you know, but anyway, I have a sneaking suspicion with those balls in the dirt that John Gruden and he have talked about the importance of keeping the ball as far as okay, I'd rather punt on third down and you fire the ball in the dirt than you throw an interception, and that's really his main focus. Keep the ball, don't turn the ball over, run our offense. I think that that's where those balls in the dirt are coming from. No doubt he is not the quarterback he was in 2016. I'm not arguing that. But I think that a lot of those balls.
These receivers, you gotta open up the playbook. I'm tired of seeing 5 yard slants and we getting off the field. I'm sick of that. Like, I'm that's what makes me mad about.
y'all ain't had nobody stretch the field out.
We ain't had nobody stretch the field. Now we got people that can stretch the field, which in Henry Ruggs, he can stretch the field.
And you
But
still might have another round pick where y'all might get a good receiver in the late round.
yeah,
You
that's
going after receivers.
Gruden is going after receivers and we going after corners as well.
Just like Philly is going after receivers.
And I just feel as though like if Gruden could open up his playbook with all these receivers that we got, and I just can't be blaming Carr for our losses last year. We went 7-9. We went 7-9 last year. Yes, he throws the ball in the dirt sometimes. Yes, but if you give that man some time to give that man some time to go deep, he can throw the ball deep. Carr does not have to go. I don't think he has to go. I just feel like he needs
I
weapons
think,
around him.
yeah, I think at this point he is a just a little bit over a mediocre quarterback. He's a tier above mediocrity, right? He's not the worst quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He's not a elite quarterback. At this point, you give him two more seasons and a couple more rounds of quarterbacks being re-signed. His contract is looking, less and less crazy the longer it goes. So, I think Derek Carr, he's surrounded by, now he has another weapon at wide receiver. They picked up a couple more options at tight end. And I'm sure they're going to draft a running back, and they'll probably bring in another couple wide receivers later in the draft or in free agency. So,
I just think John.
just surround him with talent.
Yeah, I just think John Gruden have to get innovative on offense. Yes, I understand we got Josh Jacobs and we want to run the football, but in some instances you got to get creative for these receivers. You're getting playmakers for a reason. You're getting playmakers for a reason. So you just go have to spread the ball around. And so I'm kind of like I don't know if y'all watch Watts Raider. But nobody's tanking for Lawrence. We're not tanking for Trevor Lawrence. Stop putting that in the comments. That's not going to happen.
You know, Derek Carr's been around a long time.
He's been around. He in his sixth season.
He got beat up in Houston.
Yeah, his brother David Carr got beat up in Houston.
Oh, that was David.
But
Yeah.
I'm not taking for Derek Carr is not no Andy Dalton. Please don't do that. Don't do that, kid, or you'll be blocked. You're not going to compare Andy Dalton to no Derek Carr. Are you serious?
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's certainly not, he's not a dynamic quarterback. We have in our conference the best player in the league at quarterback. All right. As a matter of fact, who said Alex Smith? Alex Smith, I guarantee you, if Alex Smith's knee wasn't blown to hell,
His knee is
John
blown
Gruden would
also.
pick him up in 5 seconds because he's literally exactly what Rich Gannon was. He would take Alex Smith in 5 seconds. But Carr, listen, he's not going to win us games, but he can manage the game and he can manage John Gruden's offense. Look at he doesn't throw interceptions when he's throwing balls in the dirt. I'll tell you that much. So he's got more wide receivers this year. He's got more talent. Let's see what happens. This is probably his last
I
year.
don't understand
If
how
he doesn't
Carr
get it
is
done.
average when he has a completion.
Gruden is going
I think that he's a little bit above average. But again,